What's up, guys? Bear with me a second. Yeah, no problem, Anna. What's up, guys? Bear with me. What's up, James? Guys, do me a favor, share out the video. Um, I'm just doing some stuff here. Hell is. I would like to have. Sadly, I know uh, McLean and Chris and all those guys, I believe, are in Texas setting up for that event. Um, and Anna's going to try to join me. Um, she's trying to set up her mic. She doesn't have what's her camera? What's everybody? She doesn't have her camera set up. There's Anna. So let me ring. Oh, it disconnected. Hold on. Anna's trying to get hers figured out. So bear with her. She hasn't done live stuff in a while, so she hadn't set it up on her new computer and such. So bear with her a moment. Let's see. Um, yeah, small avatar might work. I'm not even sure if Anna can hear me, but Anna's trying to get connected. So we're gonna try to talk. We're gonna talk about the Senate hearing. Um, God, the cuties ought to be banned. That's somebody just posted something about that. That's so disgusting. I don't give a shit who you are. All that crap. I think pageants and everything should be like banned. Um, I think it's exploiting people. Um, I don't think you should be. I don't think you should be able to do those things. Until what's up, Miss Anna?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I logged into my account just to see if I can change the comment section to see.
Yeah, if you're sharing it, also you'll have to set it to public too, for anybody to comment that may be viewing it, or at least I do on my page for some weird reason and make it
Okay.
public. Yeah, it's
Okay.
uh,
Uh, so yeah, it's been like I don't remember the last time I used this. This was maybe Comic Online like 2 years ago or a year ago.
yeah,
So there's private chat and there's comments.
yeah. You want to
Okay.
set it to comments, yeah, so you can see
Okay.
everybody's comment. Yep.
All right.
But and
Oh.
I went ahead and sent Ryan a link, and I sent Sean a link, and Sean just replied. He said
Hi.
he would try his best. Um,
Yeah. Hi, James.
if he gets
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, my back's better, but I do have a doctor's appointment on the 20th because there's something wrong.
Also sent Caesar one. So just see if we get a couple more people in here just to have other people's
Yeah.
kind of viewpoints from different aspects of the industry.
Do you tend to like save and upload this later for people to rewatch
Yeah,
or
it's shared to my Facebook. So whenever I go live with these type of videos, it's shared to the Facebook page, my personal
okay?
page, and to YouTube.
How do I stream to audience? Is
You should be
there
able to share it, I think.
Yeah. I was wondering if there's like just a link for the group.
Oh, yeah. You got me on that one. I don't. I just started using this
The
thing again not too
stream.
long ago. So,
Okay, well, it's okay. We'll figure it out.
but I've
Like,
got it shared, like on my page,
okay. Let me
and
go
so
to
you
your
can share that if
page.
you want. If you see
Yeah, let me
the
go.
post, um, I wanna send Nita's another one. I don't know if she's busy, but I would love to have her feedback too because she's involved in the industry from a very
Mm-hmm.
uh, she's involved with like heavily promoting indie creators and stuff like that. So I sent her a thing because I wouldn't mind, and I sent Mog one also. Like I said, this is all spur of the moment, so these guys might be
Oh,
super
okay.
busy.
Yeah, it's 1:30. I think some people have like actual jobs during the day too. So, but it's Friday. Happy
Yeah, yeah.
Friday.
Well, I was going to do it at 6 p.m. tonight, but you're going to be tied up with some stuff, and I think some
Yeah, I
other
might be
people that I
out.
mentioned to is going to be tied up. So I figured we just do it now, and then they can watch it later. Because
Yeah.
I think there's only a few of us that have even watched the Senate hearing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it's just one of those hello.
what's up, Caesar?
It's just one of those things that, a lot of people won't care enough to dive into it or
Yeah,
just, mind their own business or just, you know, just like every political thing.
yeah, that's true, and that's something like I was talking to Rodney and them about last night. Because they some of these other artists they do have that kind of, oh well, I don't really want to say nothing because I don't want to rock the boat, and like you and I were talking about the other day. I think some of these people that could be the case, but I think a lot of it is people are waiting to see what happens
Yeah.
and then jump on the AI ship and go, oh well, it's okay now.
Yeah.
Um,
I actually was making a long post. Then I decided like, it's probably better not to and just let people decide on their own or whatever because, and I get it. Some people don't want to post anything
yeah,
because
no,
it's also because they are probably not good at it or the fact that they probably don't know how to handle a backlash,
yeah,
and they rather not deal with it. They're going to duck
yeah,
down, just keep drawing, and then whatever resolves will resolve.
right,
And
exactly.
it's whatever. But for people like us, we're a little bit more passionate about it. And, different personalities and different it's whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hey, what's going on, Caesar? You doing all right today, brother?
Yeah, man, it's Friday, and happy Friday, everybody.
Yeah, you too, brother.
Hello.
Yeah, I appreciate
Yeah.
you jumping on such
Mhm.
short notice.
Yeah.
The reason I wanted you to jump on with us, and I sent out a message to a couple other people because this is a unique situation that affects the entire industry.
Yeah.
From creators and artists and writers, etc., to even you guys that are hardcore collectors, even old school collectors. Because new books are they're going to be the new old books. You know what I mean? So
Well,
go
well,
ahead.
well, the thing is, it's not just our industry. Like,
Oh, it's
what
everything.
is it? Yeah. So Lineback, who is a voice actress for many characters, someone used her voice and created like a parody video. Of course, they got taken down, but trolls
Yeah,
started implementing her voice and AI mix and using it against her. There are
Yeah.
people who are making fake nudes of people they don't like and using it to
Sure.
blackmail.
Hmm.
I mean, it goes more than just what we're talking about. And the
yeah,
whole thing about AI art is, I just think it's, I have my own personal opinion about, AI quote artists.
yeah,
But
I don't consider an AI artist
yeah.
an artist.
Yeah,
right?
no,
The word,
I agree there.
the word AI and someone who's an actual artist who's put in the work should never be considered artist.
Yes,
Just because you
yes.
type in things, I can do it, and then I can say, "Hey guys, I'm part of you guys now.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm an artist," and you're like, "No, you're not."
Yeah.
And then you have the people who back me up. It goes, "Well, yeah, because he was creating the idea of
Yeah,
making
yeah, yeah.
Batman swing from trees like Tarzan."
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
You know,
cool that you have this idea now. How about just put it on paper and hire a real artist to do it? Or you can pick up a pencil and try to do it yourself. If you really want to use quote AI as a tool, use it as a reference then. How about you just pick up a pencil, a stylus, or a paintbrush or something and just draw that?
the thing is, there's a lot of people out there who are still very naive to what AI art is. So when
Right.
they see AI art, they're like, "This is the coolest thing ever. Who drew that?"
Yeah.
And someone could be a dick and say, "Oh, I did." And they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're fantastic. What else can you draw? What do you want me to draw? You just wait. Give me about a week."
Yep.
You know,
Oh,
and those people don't realize what it is. And thank God there's the other ones who will comment and go, "It's AI art. It's BS." So good thing for those who are honest.
Yeah.
the a comment I just or a post I read earlier, they wrote, drawers don't pay DC and Marvel manga artists when they steal their copyright characters and sell them as fan art. So what's the difference? AI isn't copying or pasting full pictures. It uses algorithm to study how a subject is being drawn, then creates its own. To me, it creates its own model based on information and double checks those results.
Yeah.
Unlike human drawers that copy and paste other characters to benefit off their popularity and won't draw any characters for free, even creators consent. To me, that's just,
All right.
you have no idea what
Yeah.
this
Hold
current
on. Hold
AI
on one
is
second,
at
Adam.
all.
Hold on one second, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
I
We
just
gotta
saw
go
a
through this
question.
topic. Yeah,
This one
sorry.
I'm about to go on. Okay, so Danny D, and for those that don't know, Danny D's a cool dude. He supports a
Mhm.
lot of artists. But anyway, he wrote, and he's playing a bit of devil's advocate here, and I get that. I do that
That's
a lot
fine.
too. And he said, I think you guys are not taking into account poor people who have ideas too that cannot afford people to do the job and don't have the talent. AI gives poor people a chance to get their idea to reality. Okay, let me put it this way. I don't give a shit if you're rich or poor. If you're not putting in the legwork like the rest of us, you need to stay on the bench until you can. Learn to do it yourself or save up your allowance and then pay someone to do it for you. Because I grew up dirt ass poor.
Uh-huh.
And I had to fight my way through everything growing up till people pushed me down till I gave up my dream. And then, I come back now for, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and I still wasn't, rich or anything like that. I had to work my ass off. I had to grind and learn this art. I had to put in the 6 hours a day, 7 days a week for a year straight before I even started putting myself on social media. And then I started selling myself dirt cheap like a hooker on 6th Street to get people to buy my shit until I got enough of it floating around to start getting some recognition. And then I started sacrificing time with friends, family, my daughters, et cetera, relationships, and so on, so I can continue to grind as many covers as I've done in those 3 years previous to now, to get more recognition, to be able to make more money, to pay someone to help create my book. So that's my take on that. I don't give a shit if they're poor and they want instant gratification, because I was in that same boat and I had to bust my ass and grind my ass and make sacrifices to get where I'm at today. So AI, that's not how AI should be looked at, in my opinion. So, but feel free to chime in on that
It-
topic.
it's a slap in the face to those who paid for
Yes.
schools, paid for those 4 years of college, paid for those classes, paid for those books, textbooks, the tutoring, all those things. It's a slap in the face to go, I put in my blood, sweat, and tears to get where I'm at, to have some jabroni come over here and type in whatever he wants, and it pops out, and he goes, "Well, there you go. I am now an artist." And it's infuriating for those who are staunch and hard-headed to go, "Well, I am now an artist and a creator. You cannot take that from me."
And you say that, yeah, I know you're playing devil's advocate, Danny, but like, cannot afford the job or don't have the talent. To me, all of this, we built from the bottom. Like anybody, to me. So I was a teacher and I wanted to be an art educator. I personally believe anybody can draw. Anybody can put the same time and effort and still, develop something. Sure, people talk about raw talent. They're so talented. I can never be creative. Blah blah. If you don't put your time to it, you never be able to. Like, just pick up a
Yeah.
pencil and draw. Learn like the rest of us did. Put the
Yeah.
time and effort like the rest of us did. Doesn't cost you anything unless you want to go to school. I learned from YouTube. I
Yeah.
learned from watching other people draw. I didn't grow up with, having to pay for schooling or anything, but supplies are expensive and stuff like that. But still, you just take a pencil.
Yeah, well, I
Learn
can
what
tell
you
you this
can.
much, Danny. I don't know how you're taking it, but I can tell you right now, Senate is not going for fair use on this. The Senate has already made it clear that there has to be implementations put in to protect artists and creators, no matter what form of creativity they fall under. So no, it's not going to be one of those things where it just falls under fair use and everybody gets to screw everybody over. So, like I said, I understand that you like technology and things like that, and I'm right there with you. Cool. I love stuff that can make my job easier or faster.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. But yeah, this isn't going to fall under fair use. I mean, the Senate is already talking about making that there needs to be implications put in to where, instead of opting out, there needs to be things like opting in.
Well, I mean, but I don't know if it was covered, but if you even look at the stable diffusion, stability AI or
Yeah.
whatever, there was never an opt-in or
No.
opt-out option.
No.
Nothing
No,
was
it's still
asked. There
not
was
there
no
now.
consent, whatever. It's scraped.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's going to involve bigger companies. Like,
Yeah.
think about all the work, the legal work, if people want to talk legality and copyrights,
Yeah.
the legal work that was sent to Marvel and DC and published for cover work. You really think these companies aren't going to involve as long as, it has money,
Yeah.
dollar signs or whatever? Like, I don't agree with patent and copyright for Infinity
Yeah.
at all anyways. Well, yeah. I mean, it's going to be very hard for them to come up with the proper solution.
Yeah, it's going to be real difficult because they've already let the cat out of the bag. Like that one lady said, she made the comment that it's hard to opt out when you don't know how far you're already opted in because that wasn't an
Right.
option from the get-go.
Right.
So they would have to completely scrape their system. And now you're trusting someone to scrape their so-called system, and it's someone that's already been caught lying and being mischievous. Geez, I can't talk today.
Mischievous.
From the get-go. So now you got to trust them to do the right thing. And I want to give you an example, Danny, this right here, for anybody who might be riding the fence or trying to play devil's advocate. It's the compliment of people should be able to do it because they might be poor. That shit doesn't apply because everything that we do, you can learn and you don't have to pay anybody to do. You can draw the book, you can write the book, you can letter the book, you can ink the book, you can color the book, you can do everything by just sitting your ass down and learning. But the reason that argument can't be used is because, so wait a minute. So because they're poor or they don't want to pay it, they can steal our shit and do it. So does that mean because if I'm poor and I don't have the money to pay it, I can come steal your car? I can come steal your stereo system out of your house or your big screen TV because I can't afford to go buy one. So I'll just come take yours. Same damn concept.
So the funny thing is if I was to study YouTube and learn how to fix washer machines and all that stuff, and I'm not certified or HVACs and not certified at all. So now because I learned that stuff, I can go around the whole town and city and underbid every single actual contractor that has a license and say, oh, I can do what they did. Just pay me half.
Yeah.
I'll do it. And they're like, but wait a minute, you're stealing work from us. And I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. I'll just underbid you.
So do you guys know who Buzz is? So Buzz wrote a comment, something about if you order food and whatever, it doesn't make you a chef.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. This is no different than the old days, right? When you would order in and have a dinner party and people are like, oh my God, this is fantastic. And you're like,
yeah, I made it.
How long did you take it? Well, I made it. It's
Yeah,
the same
right,
thing.
right.
What's the
Somebody else
recipe?
made
What
it.
spices did you use? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's the same
Yeah,
concept.
then you're screwed when you ask for the how-to. But just to clarify something, also, Danny's like the rights of a user who makes original image of AI engine has created right. Actually, that's not completely true. They have to do the majority of the image themselves. So it's a percentage thing. So they can't go to AI and generate 90% of the image in AI, and then they own the copyright. So just for anyone listening, again, you guys might want to go watch that hearing again. When they talked about the percentage base of copyright creator owned stuff, it has to be a certain number, a certain percentage of hand creator done versus how much the AI did on the image. So just to clarify that.
Here's the thing though, like we can talk about copyright and all that, but we all know this is just going to be mostly used by people who want to exploit other
Yeah.
people for money, right? I mean, an artist, I guess most of us artists aren't going to use it because it's
And
not
that's
right.
like Danny, you making the comment about DC and Marvel could have long played the copyright. They 100% could. They could still do that right now. And if you're not contracted with them, you can't draw their stuff and resell it.
There's a gray
But they
area.
don't do that because they understand that it helps push the industry. And they also don't do that because 1 minute big name superstar is drawing for Marvel, and then the next minute he's drawing for DC, contracted differently at different moments. And you're going to sit and tell Jim Lee he can't draw Marvel characters? No, it's not happening. So that one, again, I get your point. Yes, they could have pulled that card a long time ago. They still can, but they're not going to because it helps push the industry. And at the end of the day, me sitting down behind my desk, hand drawing Batman is not the same as me doing it in AI and robbing everyone else around to get it done. It's not the same. I'm still putting in the work.
That's the funny thing. A lot of these people who don't have any understanding of these programs, like they really associate us doing like fan art or whatever as same stealing as AI. It is not.
No, nowhere near. And again, for anyone, don't jump on Danny or any shit in the comments. Danny's a good dude. He just likes to play devil's advocate a lot of time and point out things some people may not be thinking about. But yeah, there's no sugarcoating AI. There's just isn't. Not in the current form it's in.
Now, the good thing is the more AI starts to advance, and it's harder for us to sometimes differentiate what is real and what is AI art. As that progresses, so does the software that will catch if it is AI art. So it's a neck and neck thing that you saw what Sean's been doing, right?
Right.
So exposing those or going, this is AI art, people. And the thing is, after a while, you can start to tell AI art right away, not because of the fingers or the eye or the wave or the muscles, just the way it looks. It kind of already has sort of an AI taste to it right away. So if you see it and the minute you go, is that AI art? Most likely, it probably is.
Yeah.
But
it's real catchy. Like it like when you see it, you just go, oh, wait a minute. Something about that looks off. Like it doesn't even look like digital.
It looks too clean, and it has a little blurriness to it.
Yeah, go show blur. But for people who can't tell, you can tell based on their art history.
That too.
Artists evolve. Like they use people who use AI, they use the same excuses, same reason. Like, oh, you can the whole Paulo thing, right? Oh, I've been doing art for 15 years, 25 years. I have history to show for it, and you can see my art style evolve. But they don't evolve overnight, drastically. And if you are a consumer and you have a gut feeling when you first see the image and there's something off, it's probably it. Most of you can spot it.
Yeah,
and if anything, ask an artist. Ask us.
It's a shame though, because we've seen it where someone's not that great of a drawer. I mean, they're okay, and then a month from now, it's like this fantastic thing. You're going, wait a minute, I just saw your last art, and now you just did this overnight.
Now, Nita, I will defend Shikari. I've
She's not
seen.
talking about Shikari. She's talking about
Well,
someone who draws shitty, and then all of a
oh,
sudden they
to a
throw up.
Shikari High. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
I had to insert that because I was just immediate like, yeah. Sorry. I'm
but
sorry for cutting you off too.
but it is a shame. It really is a shame because it's these sharks who will prey on those who are just getting into this hobby
yeah,
now,
yeah.
and it's those who are just I mean, even the 16-year-olds, the 15-year-olds who
Mhm.
are starting to get into comics and collecting or even drawing, and they see this, they're like, oh my gosh, this is fantastic, I want to buy that. And when they do that, it's like, oh yeah, here we go, $150, and then they spend it. Then someone tells them, dude, they didn't draw that, and then now they feel now they have that bad taste in their mouth, and now they're like, I don't know what is real.
Yeah, now they just spent $150 for a print piece of paper.
Dude, people really don't care about spending $140 on the fake Carly by Melinda's Comics. Hell, they can give us the $140 each.
Yeah, but the sad thing is it's one of those situations, and that's why
And
we
that lady,
do-
she even found a loophole and just
Yeah.
exploited, and they admitted it. Okay, sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say, and that's why we do what we do. That's why we're making the posts we make. That's why people are outing the ones that we find out. It isn't to cause drama. It isn't to try to start shit up. It's trying to educate the public on what is real and what is not, what you're spending your money on versus what you're throwing your money away for. So, I mean, and it's shady. And like, I don't get these people. Like, I'm a big ride or die person. Like I've mentioned in the past, if people are loyal to me, I've got them 100%. But this shit in the fan base and the buyers and stuff, this being blind loyal because, whatever odd reason, like this isn't pre-internet, pre-social media. You don't have to tolerate the asshole down the street at your local comic shop that treats you like trash, anymore to get your books. Yeah, I mean, there's hundreds and thousands of great artists, great retailers and sellers and brick and mortars that you can shop with online. So I don't get chasing after these guys when they get outed, because I guarantee you can go to that lady's live show the next time she does one, and I bet you money there's people in there buying shit.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's the oddest thing to me. I don't get it. Oh, I can't hear you.
You're muted.
Caesar, thanks guys for inviting me. I gotta drop off, and I'll see you guys in the comments.
All right, later, brother.
Okay, thanks.
You got it.
Yeah, he couldn't stay long. He told me he wouldn't be able to stay long.
Okay.
And for anyone watching, this was just a spur of the moment thing. Sometimes middays it's a little easier for us to get on and chat. We're taking a break for lunch and stuff like that. So, but now the one thing I am a little hurt on, like, okay, so let's talk about the Senate hearing, because I do love the fact that the Senate guys are listening and they are giving some good questions. Like, he was asking, well, do we need to implement, because like that guy commented after she made that comment, he's like, yeah, I understand it. You can't really opt out of something when you didn't know you were opting in to begin with. Do we need to make it a forceful thing for you to use people's images that you have to contact them? And if you want, and they have a choice to let you use it. So I love that concept. And I love the idea he had about, that everything, if it's a certain percentage or more AI generated, has to be labeled as AI art or AI generated.
But here's the thing. That too. These guys just want money. That's why there was never an option. And, they could have set a default opt-out option, and people who chose to opt in, they can. They can. Yeah. They could have set these programs default as non-scraping method, because there is an option like that. But no, of course they're gonna, whatever can make money, more profit, whatever. These are scumbags. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Like a little credit to Adobe. When they did Firefly, they set Firefly to only pull from the stock they owned. Or images that were public domain and all that stuff that they could use without infringing on anyone.
But the thing is, that's what they want to paint it. Someone did make those, and so I don't know if you're in that artist strike group. There's a lot of comments that even though Adobe in their generative AI claims to have used their own content that has actual legal copyright and blah blah blah. Most of them probably don't.
Oh, I'm sure they probably don't. There's no way it's going to be 100% because, like I said, I mean, even though there's, the key words are, like I said, I'm giving them a little credit because they
Mm-hmm.
made that known. They said that this is what we're trying to do. Now, nothing's going to be perfect. There's going to be stuff that gets through the system no matter what. But what are they considering free to use? Are they considering legit sites? Because, there's legit sites you can go to and, you can get images and backs or, what they call stock images and stuff like that. That's free to the public. And are they talking about that? Or are they talking about just, it's floating around the internet, but it's not copyrighted to DC or copyrighted to Marvel? That's what it kind of falls under. Which one are they, how are they wording it to their system? Because the reason they didn't do it that way for the majority of the AIs is because painting trees and drawing trees and shit is not what the majority of people want to do. They want to be a comic artist.
Mm-hmm.
They want to draw all the superheroes and all the shit for the new movies and stuff like that. So that's why they just scrape the internet. And again, now it's let me ask for forgiveness instead of asking for permission kind of scenario.
Danny, actually, yeah, you were right. And I actually received an email a while ago about Google's plan to script everything we post to train its AI, and it's in the privacy policy page, which no one really reads, right? We just click. So, things like that happen too.
Yep.
I mean, here's the thing. AI is here to stay. We can't help it. It's the reality of it, and we know it. You don't have to remind us. However, we can still make things change. We can still change things.
Yeah, we can still make things difficult. If people stand their damn ground and support real artists by not buying AI generated covers and not buying AI generated prints, and retailers take a stand with us and refuse to hire artists that use AI, I don't give a shit if AI is floating around for Joe Blow down the street that ain't doing nothing but playing on a Friday night. I don't care. I don't care about the 15-year-old kid that is trying to draw Batman on AI while they're sitting there, flipping channels with TikTok and shit. I don't care about those. They're not selling it. I'm not concerned about them. But there is a stance we can take in the community, and that's why we keep trying to do this community talk. Go ahead.
And that's why there's a Senate hearing about it. It was big enough to where they actually care, and there's a strike going on. The strike is more than just the AI thing, but there was a proposal of usage of AI to replace the writers and the actors and actresses.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there's a TikTok I think up right now where someone has used AI to generate Jenna Ortega's image and her voice, and the thing has like 1 million views on it or something.
And they're making money off it.
Bingo. And so that's where it becomes a problem, is when you start taking someone else's shit and making money off of it in the sense of scraping. If I sat around and I light boxed every damn Jim Lee piece of art that Jim Lee has, and I'm sitting around selling it, that's theft. Straight up. There is no sugarcoating it. I don't get to play I'm poor card or any of that bullshit. That's just straight up theft, and it's wrong. And that's why we have to take a stance.
AR should be banned from cons as well. Yes, there are a lot. So besides Comic Cons, so a lot of people still can't tell, but I know for a fact that most cons, especially in the anime industry, they jury. They actually look at your portfolio, look at your table setup, look at all your history, and see. And then there are also cons that only allow original art. Original art as in your own IP, not fan art.
That's right. Yeah.
So there are cons, and I think cons are actively trying to pinpoint AR, but there are also other cons where it's either new or they don't know any better, or they only care about first come first serve. But no, right? I don't want to hear it's flooding us. Yeah, it's just going to keep flooding. But we're gonna adapt, and I think more people will realize how to spot AI art or not. I do believe that people should be transparent about it if they do use it.
That's one of the key things is being transparent, because there's a lot of people out there that they just don't want to support it at all.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. And then there's some people that are like, you know what? It doesn't really matter to me. I personally like I don't know. I guess maybe I'm naive. Maybe I'm just too old school with my raising with my grandparents and stuff like that. I'm 2 generations behind most of you guys. And I don't know. For me, I guess I'm still too new in the industry that I give a shit too much. And, and a lot of you guys care a lot too. And I think that could be because we're all kind of relatively new compared to the overall timeline of the game. But I can't wrap my head around stealing from one person to make like it's no different. Again, if I walked up to your house and I took your big screen TVs and shit out of your house because I'm poor or because I didn't want to work my ass off to get it, and then I go sell it on 3rd Street. It's the same thing. I don't understand. But I mean, again, I'm one of those people. I can't understand why people still back Black Flag after they blatantly rob people. I mean, I just can't wrap my head around it.
Oh, it's one of those, forgiveness thing.
Fuck that. Excuse my language. I don't believe in it. Because here's why I don't believe in it on social media. There's no repercussions. Nobody served time. Nobody paid high fines for robbing people. All they did was vanish for a couple weeks, and then they come back with their Jesus video talking about how improved they are and how different they are. People don't change. In my opinion, most people do not change. They never will change. They are who they are. And if you're a scammy, slimy ass person, you're going to die a scammy, slimy ass person, especially on social media, because again, there's no repercussions. So that one is just, I just can't wrap my head around it. Whether it's that or the petty bullshit or whatever the hell it is, I don't get it. But the other thing I do hate about the Senate hearing, though, the one thing I did hate is they gave everyone lots of time to talk when it came to the legality sides of it. And I understand that's a huge part of the Senate hearing, but I really wish, what was her name? Carla
Ortiz.
I wish she could have got to talk more because she's the heart. You get what I'm saying? They're the legality. They're the fine, hammer. She's the heart of this industry. And she's the heart of a huge portion of the industry that isn't represented. People like myself and you and all these, artists in the indie area, so to speak. I really wish she could have got more chance to talk.
I honestly was very surprised she was even in the panel.
I was too. That
so to me, it's like it's already a big thing that a visual artist was up there, and I didn't really think she had less or more time. I mean, yeah, the matter is the legal part.
Yeah,
but I already thought it was good that she was even in the panel.
I was super happy to see her there. I was expecting when Sean sent me the link for the panel. And I was expecting it just to be all lawyers. I figured it'd be the spokes guy for the AI, his lawyer, or whatever the case. And then
I figured the Senate could care less.
Well, I mean, I think it's too big for them not to care to a degree. But a lot of that, I think if it hadn't hit on a personal level for politicians, they probably wouldn't have gave a shit until much later. But the fact that there was a political video floating around where somebody was using AI to generate a political person, giving some very tasty comments, I think that's what really got their attention.
Now I'm intrigued of James. Comic exposure cover that looked like AI and they called it cosplay. Now I'm interested. What cover is this?
Oh yeah.
I want to see
that
because looking through all their exclusives, I have not noticed any AI.
I have, of course I haven't looked at them. So
no, I mean you got Greg Horn, you got Mike Mayhew. I don't see any cosplay version. So if you can provide us a title, I'm interested in looking. Okay, Hi, Thomas. Hey, guys.
That's a good point, Thomas. I mean, it came in hard. That's why somebody the other day made a comment on one of these videos. They were like, well, at first there were some artists giving them permission to use their art. And I was like, I don't buy that shit. I think that's hearsay bullshit because that came out like they were scraping the internet before they ever outed the apps. So they wouldn't have asked nobody permission to do shit because it would have thrown red flags. But yeah, you're right. It does come down to the human factor and common sense. But sadly, money, money makes people do stupid shit.
I had an idea for. What, Danny? What did the artist say? Did they agree? Did they like the idea, or did they not?
Which artist? Oh, his. Oh, his.
Oh, I was talking
I mean,
about Danny's
I told
idea.
people. Yeah, I told people if they would have came out with an AI app that didn't connect to the internet, so to speak, scraping the internet, if they had come out with something like that the artists themselves could have purchased or subscribed to, and I could sit there and load my own damn art into that damn thing, and then generate something off of my shit, I can tell you right now, I probably would have done it because time is money,
Yeah.
But I don't want any part of it when it's pulling from other people's shit. I just don't think that's right.
AI art, like the current AI programs and quote AI art, whatever, also doesn't. It kind of kills human creativity too.
It
If you think
does.
about it.
Oh, it takes so much of the
Like
work out of
think
it.
think about like how let a personal source. Yeah, that's epic. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm just like reading the comments slowly. But I'm
Yeah,
very
I think it would have been, because it's no different in that concept. Technically, it wouldn't have been no difference than a portrait artist using a light box to draw Harrison Ford's, line facial structure stuff. Because that's what they do.
I
So,
had I don't know if you saw this a while ago. So in the Lady Death group, it's not about Paulo, but there was a AI artist posting, their AI Lady Death, right? And it was
right.
cool and all, it looked cool, but the whole community took a vote whether or not to allow AI in the group. Of course, they voted no, and then took it down, and with respect. But the guy was so hardcore in defending him and his use of AI that it
Yeah.
was just it was kind of hilarious. And even I had an argument with him about Paulo because he was kind of defending the whole AR art still in the comments and saying how you don't have to scrape. You don't understand he was telling me that I don't understand how these programs work, and he was saying that there's a setting that you don't have to scrape. Yet I think it's funny because he still scraped even though he knew about the setting.
Yeah, it's bullshit. There's that setting doesn't work that way. The database is already there. It's not real time scraping the internet. They're pulling their images from a third-party data company that they hire to create a program that scrapes the internet. So when you do your little AI shit, it's not pulling live from the internet. It's pulling live from their database. It's already scraped.
What he was claiming is you can set it to scrape from your own artwork. You can put in a pool of 10 of your own images and scrape from that database instead of, the public domain or whatever. I'm like, even if he wasn't, right? Let's say he wasn't. He still chose to scrape from the public. I mean, how are you going to use that to defend yourself and the usage of AI when you still scrape yourself? And my other argument was, look at Lensa AI. People aren't going to use these quote setting and be honest individuals. They're going to use the easiest method possible. Use these cool AIs, whatever's trendy on TikTok, without even knowing that it scrapes. Like, it's a good. I remember right after.
Yeah, I remember when that happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that
I remember
was
when that
fucking
happened.
sick.
Yep, that was pretty jacked up. Yeah, I remember when that happened. It was really jacked up. Says I sent you and Anna a photo again. I don't. Let me take a quick look at this photo because some things can be pretty damn.
Anita, like I actually thought, Anita, I thought that him creating it as an open discussion, of course, he kind of did it tactfully, on purpose. He could have just taken it to into a private matter. But I think they were also curious, and then it also set a public statement.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah, Anna, check out that image. That one's going to be a tough one because it also
was
kind of
it?
it's
June
definitely not a
29?
cosplay. That is not a
Hold
cosplay
on,
cover.
hold on. That is pretty sus. Who the hell is this person?
Yeah, that is the oh man,
Oh,
that
let's take time to dissect this.
yeah. Y'all bear with us a second. We're looking
I
at
wish
something.
Sean was here because
Oh man, send that
hmm.
picture real quick, Anna, to Sean. Ask him what he thinks, because I'm
Well, I
telling
was
you.
gonna send it to Shikari because Shikari knows more than anything.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah, that would
Wait,
definitely.
June 29th? Oh, I found it. Okay.
Yeah, I
Indiana.
don't know.
Oh
That looks
no, they say quote cosplay. They meant the character is cosplayed as Indiana Jones, not a
yeah,
person cosplaying it.
right. It's not a person.
What?
I don't know, man. It
It
looks
looks
just.
very mixed.
It looks like a mixture of 3D, or that 3D modeling shit.
Yeah.
It looks like a mix of that. That one's going to be a tough one.
To
Because
me, the alarming part is how so they always have the same thing, right? The boobs part. The skin
uh-huh.
part, it's always a little bit more sharp. I don't to yeah, to me this is more like a 3D rendering model, but
Yeah, I think
it
that
looks
might
like a little
be.
mix. I don't know. Who's the artist? There's no name on it. They didn't even state an artist. They didn't
Yeah.
put an artist name on it. Usually they do.
Yeah, there's no
Ooh,
name on it whatsoever. Not even on the image. There's no
that's
signature.
weird.
And see, sometimes that's kind of a giveaway too when nobody credits the artist and
And
there's
usually
no
they
signature
do.
on the art.
So Comic Exposure has a quite a history. I don't know about these days. I know they kind of also broke apart, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it definitely has that 3D model looking,
Yeah, it does.
but then I see things in the clothing that just doesn't look
To me, it's the
like
boobs
you would
area.
draw clothing. You know what I mean? Like look on her right arm, her left arm, our right hand side. Look at how they did the folds in her elbow area and the way the arm is kind of weird shaped. And that could just be the 3D modeling. If it's 3D modeling though.
I think it's not AI. But I could be wrong.
Well, look at the vase in the background too. You see all that
Well,
crazy.
those are like 3D or photo bashed on.
Uh-huh.
It
I
could
think
be
I think
just
that's what it
small.
might be. I think we'll get Sean's opinion and Shakari's opinion, but I kind of think it may be just someone using 3D modeler, which I'm not really a fan of that shit either. But that's a different thing. Yeah, I'm not sure, James. It looks like, and I'm gonna get real quick. I want to give a huge kudos shout out to my daughter Shelby, who works with children and stuff with therapy, and they just had 2 kids that she watches over with the treatment program. The kids thought they were going to the doctor, and they got to go to the courthouse and got a surprise adoption for both of them.
Oh, that's amazing. That's
So,
really, really great. That's great to hear.
yep,
That's
and
really
they
great
are
to hear.
they are absolutely adorable. But
I have to
maybe
check
brother and
that.
sister, maybe I think it may be brother and sister. But
Mhm.
so hell yeah, kudos for a win for the damn kids getting out of the system. Hopefully it'll stay.
Yeah.
What's up, Ariel?
Hey,
Um,
Ariel. I I don't think it's AI.
Now I kind of think it's 3D modeling. A lot of people are
Yeah.
using 3D modeling. It's an easy program to use, like ZBrush, and SketchUp Pro for background shit. It's super easy. Yeah, I mean, hell, most people. The sad thing is there's a lot of artists right now that aren't drawing shit. You know, they're slapping some background shit on something and doing 3D modeling, posing, which is why the figures are kind of stiff looking. But at least they're still drawing. They're still doing it. You know. Um,
How so wait, let's see. Oh, Nita. I had a feeling he wasn't going to. So I did message Brian. I also talked to the colorist because that drama happened before on public Facebook, and I don't know if Brian them knew about it. So I think it just kind of helped, and it also helped when Mike Chrome didn't say much, but he made a statement saying it's AI. I know Eric Basildua said something, and I know probably Monty said something, but the thing that put the nail in the coffin is Chuck finally came out
Yeah.
and talked to the publisher about it and showed them everything because he was so afraid, and he was afraid of Paulo too. So
Paulo ain't
yeah,
shit. Tell him don't be afraid. Paulo isn't shit.
he tried to steal people's wives at cons.
Well,
Like he's
he'll
your
steal
literal
that.
example of a narcissist, like who's on
Yeah.
steroids. All he cares about his looks.
Yeah, that's okay. He'll bark at the wrong one of these days, and somebody will light him up real good. So he'll learn.
It's okay. He told me I was just, shaming people using it
Oh,
as
I
an
know.
exposure and stuff. I thought
Yeah.
that was the funniest thing. You just didn't like a girl called you out.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. How dare you?
I'm like, you
speak
think I'm
up to
cute?
him?
You're just
You
flirting
are-
with me.
You are supposed to respect his muscles. How
And
dare
respect his craft and years
know,
of work. I will respect you if you were
he's
honest.
drawing with a little tool. You leave him alone.
I love his work.
And if you're
I
friends
just
with
found
Paulo,
it so disappointing.
y'all can tell Paulo, I said, fuck off. And he can feel free to check me at any con that we
I
might be at.
do wish that, maybe one day he'll get over it and go back to his ways because he's a very, very talented
Yeah,
artist. Like
he is. That's what's sad.
his work, but
Let me ask you something.
yeah.
These people that you see all of a sudden crutching, who have put out some cool work, how much of it is really their cool work? Like, how much of it is 3D model pose tracing or ZBrush, et cetera, et cetera? How much of it's that? I mean, have you ever seen him draw in person?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
A lot
Well,
of people
that's the
have.
telltale.
He used to go to cons, and
Okay.
he does actually draw. Like yes, he
Okay.
just has a very bad history with commissions and work, and now
Well,
this
he's
is all exposed. So
He ain't got time to draw. He got to get his pump on. I'm sorry.
no,
I have
I
no
mean,
love.
even some of the messages
I
like
know
that
before.
in the Comic Artist Beware, if you have seen or read some of the messages he gave to people, it's always the same thing. Oh, you gotta give me time. You can't push me. I got to take my time. You want me to give you shit work? You
Yeah,
gotta
give me
me
shit
time.
work.
Blah 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 blah.
I'm so look.
These people are usually they want money.
Yeah.
They want to skip
That's why
the
they don't have
colors.
a cap.
They want money.
Yeah, that's why they don't have a cap on their commission list. Because look, and I get the psychology of commissions. I get it. I understand why people are scared to put deadlines or especially caps on their commissions, because art is spontaneous. And even though someone may be a hardcore fan of yours, if they come to you and say, "Hey, I need a Batman piece, and it's $300, and oh shit, your commission list is full. Oh, I got to wait 7 months to get back to you. Okay, I'll see what I can do." They'll go get it from someone else. Like, I get that fear psychology of it. But if you want to be an artist that can do art in a 6 month to a year turnaround time without rushing, you got to cap your list, or you got to stay your ass off
He
Xbox,
got no
stay your ass
deadlines.
off PS4, etc., etc.
He got no deadlines. He hasn't had like actual covers in a long time
Yeah,
or interiors. Like, and the thing is,
and I've never
he
seen him
draws,
at
he
a show.
hires colorists.
So
No, he hasn't attended a show for a long time.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You take someone like myself or someone like you, or some of these other artists that operate kind of like we do. I'm doing, me personally, I'm averaging about 6 to 8 covers a year. Some years more than that. I've slowed down over the last 2 years. Then on top of that, I'm doing anywhere between 10 to 17 cons per year. Then on top of that, I'm doing commissions, etc. And I can manage to have 6 month turnarounds, or year turnaround, worst case scenarios. So can everybody else that's sitting their ass at home.
I mean,
I'm sorry, I'm burnt out on the whole artist bullshit, cry me a river thing. Oh, my life is so hard. Someone hurt my feelings. Oh, everybody's dealing with every damn thing. Get
Here's
your
the
ass
thing.
off the Xbox. Get your ass off of YouTube. Get your ass behind the damn desk. Do the damn work. Respect the fans who have given you their hard-earned money and love, and stop bullshitting.
And here's the thing. I mean, then you got monsters like Peach Momoko and In-Hawk Lee who just pulls like 100 fucking covers a month or some shit, even with the broken arm. I mean, I get it. People do go through stuff. People have phases. I mean,
I
I'm
get
a
it
culprit
too.
of it.
But you know what?
But
Take your day,
Paulo,
deal with it, and get your ass back to work.
what gets me is he finished these pieces and doesn't send it.
Yep, there's a lot of artists guilty of that
And
shit
then
too.
what was it? What was it that I read? There was a someone robbed him. There was no robbing. He probably sold it to someone else. Who knows? Whatever.
Yeah,
Doesn't fucking matter.
And that right there, in all honesty, in all fairness, that is something that could happen. Let's say someone bought an original piece of art, you put it in your binder so it didn't get damaged or something, and then you accidentally sold it at a show. I'm not going to say that's beyond possible.
It is possible, but we're talking about
it's
Paulo.
highly unlikely.
You should go on the Comic Beware and then look at every Paulo. He is notorious.
Oh yeah, he is. And that Castillo, Calido, he's notorious too. And his shit is straight up traced. Like people have done line for line compare. Yeah, I can't remember his name. Something.
I did hear about the Greg Land thing. And some of these artists, even Mike Mayhew and Greg Land, not Greg Land, Greg the Horn, they have their own models. Mike Mayhew has his own models. Lucio Perillo, his girlfriend, his model, whatever. And then, Natalie Sanders, she's the model.
Hold on one second, Anna. Sorry, let me cut you off. Before Danny, he has to leave.
Okay.
You say that, but you've never been on the contract. Let me explain something to you. The contract we're on for Image Comics as a retailer, the contract for Dynamite, the contract for indie projects, the contract for every fucking thing floating around is the same damn time frame crunches as damn Marvel DC. If you're an artist, you respect all of them the exact same damn way.
Danny, I work with a retailer that works with the big two, and they tell me everything, and I know how the contract works. And we have friends who have worked under the contract of the big two.
Yeah.
And deadline is a thing and not a thing. Trust me. There are so many people late with their shit, and they still accept it.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is those deadlines are longer, farther out than what a lot of the indie stuff is. Indie stuff can be due within a month, within 2 weeks. Hell, some of the retailer exclusives for like Image Comics Dynamite, they'll contact you. Oh, we need it we need everything in 3 weeks. Marvel and DC, these guys, when they contact these, regulars, they've got 3 months to do a cover. So no, I'm sorry. I call bullshit on deadline breaks. I call bullshit on missing them completely and having to cancel covers for people. I'm sorry. I call bullshit. Everybody deals with shit. Everybody's got a hard life. You're getting to work one of the coolest jobs in the world. And fans are some of the most awesome things you'll ever have or be a part of. Stop making bullshit excuses and do the damn work.
It's funny about the, just because it's the big two, like they have accepted work like very, very last minute, way overdue deadline. And sometimes if it really can't make it to print, it goes into a sideshow print.
Yeah.
I don't know what you know about the contracts with the big two or what your experience is, but yeah.
Well, more than likely, Danny, like I said, again, now for those who don't know, Danny's a cool dude. It's just Danny likes asking those questions that some people may not want to ask. But anybody telling Danny that they're having some kind of deadline issues, it ain't got shit to do with the deadline. It's got shit to do with they wait till the last 10 minutes to want to draw it.
2 weeks to turn in 12 ink pages is no walk in the park. They get 200.
Yeah, I don't know who's telling you that shit, but they're getting way
200 a page.
Yeah, they don't. Inkers don't get 200 a page for the big two. I already know what their numbers are. I know what they pay pencilers. I know what they pay colors. I know what they pay inkers for interiors and covers. So I'm telling you right now,
200 a page. They got some priority then.
Yeah, which means they got some leeway. That's big dog shit. So, But and again, this isn't, Danny's not a comic artist. Danny doesn't work for the companies. So to be fair to
Well, I
anybody,
mean, he's getting
don't
his
jump on Danny.
he's getting his information from somewhere.
He's getting
So
right, he's
if,
getting
if
bullshit.
yeah,
Sorry, Danny. I love you, brother, but you're getting fed
or
bullshit.
someone that's up top who knows, like two ink pages for $200 a page is a lot.
Yeah, I mean that would be some shit like some of the big dogs that are inking Jim Lee and shit, which
Yeah.
means they're not being handed
I'm curious.
a 2-week deadline.
I'm curious.
Like I said, again, Danny, you don't have to put nothing public or anything like that. If you want to PM Anna, like who's told you that, you're
Yeah,
welcome.
the colorists, most colorists don't even get paid that much.
Yeah, whoever's telling you that shit will lie through their teeth, brother. I hate to say
Dude,
it.
I want to do some inking job. I love inking.
Hell, pencilers don't even get paid that much a page.
Shit.
The big
But
dogs.
I do appreciate
the
Danny for
superstars
your
do.
contribution to the conversation, even in Devil's Advocate.
Yeah. So sadly, Danny, whoever's telling you that shit, brother, they are feeding you some serious smoke. Pencilers don't even get paid $200 a page.
Dude, now I wanna ask Darren about that.
So, like
that's what. Oh, that's different. No, that
okay,
when you sell an original, that is so different. That is so much more.
Ooh, matter of fact, tell him he's selling that shit too cheap.
Plus the resale and pay for the art.
All right, cool, Danny. I was about to say, man, holy shit.
I was about to say Marvel doesn't even pay that much, and a lot of artists cut their actual price to do even covers for Marvel.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, matter of fact, he could be getting more than $200 a page for Marvel DC inked pages. But if he's comfortable with that price, more power to him.
I was looking at
It's like, damn, somebody's feeding Danny all kinds of wrong shit. It's like,
yeah,
I want his ass on the show.
Afterwards, it's gonna be a lot more like even sometimes when I do covers, like I do a certain rate because I'll sell an original. That's why my rate is lower, or whatever.
Right,
and
right,
a lot of artists do that.
Yeah, that's pretty normal.
Yeah. See the work, even Ariel, like because you're working for the big, and sometimes they do give you comps, and sometimes they sometimes depending on what's in your contract or whatever.
Yeah.
Working for the big two, the exposure is quite nice in exchange for some of the, cutting your rate. Yep. That's the only exposure that's worth it, really.
Yeah. Now, and I'm proud for the people that are getting to do some shit for the big two. I've learned a long time ago, if I ever get to do something for the big two, I'll be super happy. But if I never do, I don't care in the least about that, because I love what I do and I make a great living doing it, and I'm fine with that. I mean, there is a level of notoriety that comes with it, which is kind of strange considering, Image Comics is still big and indie market is still huge. So, I mean, I get it, but I really do want to see more people getting damn jobs with some of these companies that are getting jobs because they put in the damn legwork and they didn't know a certain somebody that got them shit.
Ariel,
that's life.
Like 3 comps. Well, since yours,
you don't get any comps.
If it's a retailer variant, you should talk to your retailer. But if it's an official, then you should ask for more money or some shit.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because you got your foot in the door now, so you can negotiate a little bit.
Well,
and all you're asking for is extra books. I mean, it costs them $2 and something to print them. Hell no, the quantities they print, they're probably paying $1 and something a book.
Marvel and DC are kind of weird about their actual comps direct from the company, but if it's a retailer variant, that's something you and your retailer can negotiate together. The thing about Marvel and DC is, from what I know, when you do a retailer variant, you still it is directly through Marvel and DC, not the retailer.
Right.
So
yeah. Once
I know even from publishers themselves, it's like, oh my god, what a sick joke.
Well, I mean, even from a retailer's connection, when you're an artist and you're doing a retailer for one of those, once you're approved, you don't get it's not you talking to the retailer or any of that from that point forward. If any questions or any concerns or anything and is being done, it's being done between you and the person, your connection at Marvel or DC. Like it's not like once the artist is approved, like there's no discussion between you and the retailer, which is, I guess is a little weird, but maybe not, because the retailer isn't paying you at that point either.
But
You know,
the retailer and then the artist talk anyway.
oh yeah, of course. I mean, I'm just saying they're technically
And
not
then if
supposed
the
to,
retailer
right?
is nice, then they'll gift it. To me,
Yeah,
the whole comp thing is weird. To me, it's just an extra icing on the cake
yeah, of
or
course.
extra gift or whatever. If the retailer's nice about it, just include it or whatever. And I'm sure,
Yeah,
yeah, it is yeah. I mean, I think more should be that way, honestly. But it's whatever. It's the big two. They do what they
yeah.
want.
Well,
However,
I
the
mean,
thing about
I don't
Image
blame them.
Comics,
Yeah, I don't blame them, because when you
um,
get to that point, you don't really need to have
cherry
any
pit.
communication with the retailer, because the DC Marvel, whoever you're talking to, your connection there at that point, I mean, they're the ones that's got to sign off what you're drawing anyway. So there's no real need to have a third
They are
person in there.
they are more strict, which is kind of nice. Uh, the thing, going back to Image Comics, I don't know if it ended up being published because they did allow the use of an AI cover. And
I know
I
one
saw
got
the guy.
published.
I
Yeah,
saw
I
the
know one.
guy at they were at Dallas. They had a big booth and it was
Mm.
empty.
Oh wow,
Yeah. Because
interesting.
I saw their big banner with that AI image. And the thing is, the guy can draw, but they resorted to AI after. I think the interiors were also AI. And then
Yeah,
I
I
saw
know.
Antarctic Press,
Yeah,
they
that's
have a
it.
full
Last
AI
Barbarian.
cover.
Yep. Yeah, that Last Barbarian was an AI cover, and but I don't know, like we haven't heard, or at least I haven't seen it. I haven't heard Image Comics make any type of comment on it or anything. I don't know if they
I
pulled it. I don't know if they said, "Oops, we just didn't notice." Like I don't think I've seen them say anything.
I just know there are things that Image Comics that are they're not doing well or not doing good. I don't know. I
Yeah.
haven't really been involved with them for a while. At
Well,
least never since Jeff moved to Lunar Distribution.
yeah. The other thing I think kind of hurt Image is they were getting some good momentum there for a little while, and then all of a sudden they changed the rules. Like retailers can't do a retailer exclusive unless it's a new number one. Why the hell would you do that?
Yeah, though they're with the changes of their retailer person or whatever, they want to implement these rules so there aren't too many covers like the past. I mean, Boom Studios did a change too, where I think they're limiting to 5 retailer
Yeah,
variants for some titles and things
yeah.
like that.
Well, see, the way I look at it is, why does it matter? It doesn't cost that company a nickel. It's just more of your books floating around the market that you got paid for up front before it ever printed. So if it doesn't sell out for the retailer, it doesn't affect you.
It might be from the problem of so when Mercy 1 came out, I think it was like 30 or 40 retailer variants and it flooded the market and there was an issue with paper shortage and printing. And then you got the
Okay.
Last Ronin problem, you got the Something is Killing the Children problem, and that just
Stray
created
Dogs,
yeah,
like 40
stray
covers
dogs.
or
So
some
I think
shit.
they're just trying to
Maybe
like
that's what it was.
limit
Maybe
it
they
and
just,
not flood the market and be less
yeah.
workload on themselves too, because I think they fired a lot of people too, or
Oh,
they
did
were
they?
like, I don't remember what it was, but the workload is a lot and they couldn't keep
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. The change to DC Marvel was the one that kind of hurt my feelings a little. They changed it to where that a retailer, if a retailer wanted to do a cover, he could do a cover for whatever book they have at that moment, but they had to choose between like the artists that were already doing covers for that book, or something like that. I thought that was such a weird one, because why do you care if this retailer pays this $12,000-13,000 out of their own pocket to have this book created, this variant, and they want to use some artist that they know personally, as long as the artist is approved?
Which company?
I know Marvel did a change like that, to where you go, hey, I want to do this. I want to do a retailer cover for this issue of, let's just say Spider-Man. and
Yeah.
they go, okay, well, here's the artists that are doing
Yeah,
covers.
they've always
Which
done
one
that
do you
though.
want? Huh?
They've always done that though. Marvel and DC
No. Previously,
they have a list of approved artists. You can't just hire anybody that you want. They have to be on that list.
right. I get that, but prior to not this past December, but the December before, prior to that, you could submit an artist to be approved. And if they
Yeah, and then they
approve you,
decide. Yeah,
yeah.
but most of
Well,
the time,
now, right now, they're telling people that here's, oh, you want to do exclusive? Okay, for this book, here's the artist that you can choose from.
well, from my understanding, it's always been that way. And if
Well,
you
like
want
I
to
said,
submit
you
a
gotta
new
be approved.
artist, you can approve, or the most of the time they won't approve just yet. I mean, but they've always had a list, and if they need jobs, like if they have if they're going to prioritize their artists and colors first,
Yeah.
if something's available, they're going to throw that. But yeah, from my understanding, it's always been that way.
Well, I
And
don't
then
know. I know
other
2 years
retailers,
ago, 2 years ago, we were going to do one, and they said, okay, just send us the artist information, who you want it to be, and we'll get them approved. We'll see if we can get them approved for the cover. I got approved for 2. And one was BNS Comics that submitted my paperwork, 3 years ago that I got approved to do a cover. And then they spent all the damn money that we raised selling exclusives that I did for them that year, so they can flex and pretend they're some ballers and then not send people their books. So that was one. Then not too long, right before that was another retailer with 2 partners that submitted my paperwork to do a Venom cover. And I got approved as an artist. I saw the email, and they had a falling out, and one of the guys ran off with the other one's money. So that never
okay,
happened.
then use that email as proof that you have been
Right. Well, this is
approved
what I'm getting at. Then this past December, not 2022, but the one right for it. January of last year. Let's put it that way. January of last year, 2022. We were going to do the same thing with another retailer, and they sent the information in and said, oh, we're not doing it like that anymore. If you want to do this book, here's the artist that we're using for that book. Which one of these artists do you want to use on your thing? Like they wouldn't even allow the submission.
Yeah, that could have been just that title then, or whatever, because there are some creators of specific titles that are very picky and selective as well.
Yeah.
So it could be a number of things. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just going by what I was told. And the email they got back was, oh, we're not doing that now. Now you have to use one of the artists that we already have on the project. Because I was going to pay for my own damn retailer exclusive. I was going to pay the damn, $13K and have the book done.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
So, but is what it is. I'll get there eventually. We'll all get there eventually. You play this game long enough, you'll get there. You'll catch that break. Some of us don't have somebody that knows somebody that can sugarcoat shit for us, and we'll just have to take a little longer to get there. It's okay. But at the end of the day, just because I don't have a DC cover or a Marvel cover don't make me any less a damn artist or any damn less important than the rest of them. So, and, nor does anyone else.
Up some AI artists, AI artists.
Yeah, there you go.
And the whole thing.
Yeah, you saw that comment. I made that comment on Sean's post the other day. I was like, maybe we should start taking all this AI generated art and light boxing it and just calling it our new cover since they can't copyright the shit.
I don't know if you saw what Mark Brook posted. Let me find it again. I thought that was hilarious.
Ariel, you're welcome to jump on here and talk live if you want to.
Here's what Mark Brooks wrote. If you see someone post their AI quote art and you like the costume or character design, hand draw an original piece of that design. They can't copyright their art, but if you hand draw it, you can. It's yours now. Discuss.
That's right. Throw that shit in a damn paper envelope.
That was funny.
Throw that shit in a paper envelope, mail it to yourself, and you just, poor man, copyrighted it.
Man, that's a lot of good
references. But that's just the key though, Thomas. In that situation, it's not, because it's not copyrighted. You can't copyright images generated in AI.
Practically
So
infringing on an already infringed image.
I
Ariel,
hope you get to feeling better, Ariel.
yeah, they gotta give you some hard ass freaking painkiller, numb shot or something. Don't get
Suck it
addicted to
up,
it,
rub
too.
some dirt on it, get back to work.
No, seriously, like, so I got painkillers and I try not to take them because it will
Oh,
make me fall asleep.
yeah,
I
they
will
will.
sleep right away. So I just like, but painkillers sometimes it's just
I can't do them.
can't,
I'm a lightweight.
can't.
I can't do them, man. I'm a lightweight, and which I have a stupid high tolerance for pain, but
Yeah.
so it takes a shit lot of pain to make me want to take pain pills, and and I've only had that kind of pain like twice in my life. One was appendix, pain
Mhm.
when I had to have my appendix removed, and then the other one was severe abdominal pain from like a gas blockage from eating too much greenery.
Too much greenery.
Yep, yep. My ass. What's it called when you juicing? I did juicing for 3 days, 4 times a day, and it put my ass in the ER. I was in so much pain I couldn't even stand up. Like I was slumped over, could not straight. They put me on morphine to get the pain to come down in the ER. And so yeah, I don't do that no more. But and they couldn't figure out what it was. They thought I had appendicitis, and I was like, no, that's gone. There's the scar. And they're like, they did CAT scans. They did all those types of big X-ray style things, and couldn't figure it out. And then sent me home, $6,000 doctor bill, and sent me home with no clue what it was. And then I was watching like Big Bang Theory, like 3 days later, where Sheldon was eating all those greens, and he had severe abdominal pain, and then fell down the stairs and farted. And I was like, you got to be shitting. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Did I seriously just have a $6,000 fart? So yeah, you better stay away from the greens, kiddos.
No, sometimes like when I do that, it's like I know what can quote unclog. I'll just drink some milk.
Oh, is that what it is, man? Yeah, I got to remember that shit. But yeah, I haven't done that since then. I was like,
fiber.
Oh, I was like, wow.
Okay, I learned something new. I guess. Thanks for saving me a $6,000 bill.
Yeah. Don't do 3 days, 4 days a week, 4 times a day of green juicing, because that's
well,
like I said, that's the only thing it could have been.
What's the idea of NFTs in the comic realm still a taboo compared to AI?
To be honest with you, nobody mentions NFTs nobody really deals with it anymore. Nobody really gives a shit about it. It kind of flopped on its own.
Well,
which we knew it would.
There's people like Boss Logic that makes tons of money off it.
Yeah, but I mean that's unique. Like Boss is
well, the thing with NFT is most people are creating new art on their own or using existing ones to create a one of whatever. And if people want to pay for it, sure. But I think it's less of a problem versus this whole scraping AI shit.
Yeah, it is. Most people don't give a shit about it. Like I haven't heard people talk about NFTs in forever. And a lot of it maybe because it's attached to what is it, Bitcoin and stuff or something.
Ethereum.
Yeah, Ethereum. That stuff. I think that's what a lot of it comes down to, is being attached with that, and there's been so much like up and down and stuff. I don't know.
I'm sure there's a lot of copyright infringement and usage of art that's just scraped from the internet, but I guess it's not a big enough deal where people care enough. I don't know.
And it could be maybe because it's not technically, I guess, it's not being sold technically. How am I wording this? Because they're buying it with ethereal and shit. So maybe people aren't. It's the same concept was when I used to be a blackjack dealer and a poker dealer.
It's being bought with crypto.
People don't look at chips as money. When your people are sitting at a blackjack table or a craps table, like they don't view their checks as money. They view it as these little pieces of plastic, So maybe that's why people don't really give much thought to it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the whole AI issue is much bigger than the whole NFT
Yeah, it
issue.
is. And that's a much bigger because again, at least with NFTs, it had to be people that had some talent, whether they're using 3D or they're using, digital or they're using, hand drawn, whatever. At least in NFTs, you still had to create something.
Well,
So
there are those photo bashers who like wait, they took Elon Musk's photo and created some art with it and it sold as NFT.
oh, did they?
Yeah, there's a bunch on the NFT world, and I'm sure there are a lot of things that were stolen images, and they
Yeah.
made some
Oh,
crypto money or whatever off it.
yeah. I mean, I'm guarantee if you went and looked now, I bet you, like Anna said, I bet there's a shitload of damn AI.
Oh, AI art, yeah.
Because I mean, technically, that would have been a proper platform for you to sell AI art, one off.
And the thing is,
You know?
of course, people are gonna sell it as NFT. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of people who does view crypto as money, but it crashed.
Oh yeah, no, they lost
The
a lot of
market
money.
crashed, and a lot of people who are still buying are hoping that it'll be a investment because it might eventually go back up due to, crypto being more accepted as a form of
Right.
payment and blah blah blah. But who knows in 50 years? I mean, look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin rose up to almost 60K and dropped back to 20.
Yep. God, I
So
remember watching the whole damn the way what was it? Stock and stuff with was it GameStop or who was
yeah,
it?
GameStop and AMC exploiting. Funko has a lot of NFT pops. You don't get the hype. I mean, here's the thing. It's a collector kind of mentality thing.
Yeah.
Like for me, I don't get people who collect specific things. NFTs because it's a one of. People like the idea of them owning the only one
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Yada yada yada. Just like
Yeah.
people who want to collect limited edition things, right? Because
Yeah.
they own one of the 100 pieces or whatever. So it's one of those collector mentalities. People have too much
Yep.
money. I mean, just like
Yeah, I
people.
mean, look at Magic the Gathering that just dropped that Lord of the
Oh,
Rings.
the soul ring, the
One
one
ring.
ring.
The one ring. There's only one in the entire set that says one of one on it. And there's already somebody's already gotten that piece. And apparently one person contacted them offering 1.5 million for that card. And then there's another person out of I think Italy has offered them like 2 million for the card.
Yeah,
And
and
he'll
think
fly
about
him
how
out
many
to Italy and
people.
all that shit to do the transaction.
And think about how many people have bought the booster boxes just to try to get and gamble to get that one piece. Collector mentality.
Yep. That's true, Daddy. That is definitely true. I don't care
What
for
is the
crypto.
history? You
I
want to be
mean,
part of it.
there's no doubt about it. I still kick myself in the ass because I remember when Bitcoin first came out
Oh
and it was
yeah,
stupidly cheap, and I almost bought $1,000 worth
my
of it at
brother
that
had
time. Oh, I
my
wish I
brother had
had, but
tons of it, and I mean, when they sold it, they still made profit, but they could have. But it's always the could have. When
Mhm.
gambling, it's always could have. As
Yep,
long as you got a profit, you got a profit. I
yep.
mean, Dogecoin, I could have made a fucking thousands and thousands of dollars. I mean, I still made a profit, but I could have made more.
Yeah. Well, see, the reason I never got into NFTs is because of the crypto and because you don't know where the money's coming from. Because to me, I don't see how it couldn't be used as a money laundering thing. And then
Yeah,
if
it
somebody,
definitely is.
right? I mean, yeah, come on. I mean, somebody just paid $150,000 for some random piece of shit art, and there's no red flags. I mean, I can't trust that because if that person really did get busted, guess what's going to happen? Anything and everything they bought with that money is going bye-bye, including the crypto that that he gave me for that piece. So I don't know. I think it's too, that thing is just too volatile. It's too risky in my opinion. It's not regulated enough, it seems. So I don't know. But people with money is always going to buy stupid shit. I mean, that's just the way life goes.
Right now, if you really want to gamble, buy AI stocks.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, also guys, while I got all of you here, make sure you go back my Kickstarter for Psycho Sal number 4. We just added Ken Hunt's badass black and white cover for issue number 5 that is only available on this Kickstarter in metal with that black and white. It will not be black and white on issue number 5's Kickstarter. And you will not be able to repurchase that book, and it's only limited to 50. Anna, while I got you here,
Hi.
should we mention something?
I don't know. Maybe that's up to you. But I
Are
will
you
say I
okay with
did
it?
back. I did back number 4.
Thank you. And for those that don't know, Anna, and one of the reasons a lot of us love her so much is she is one of those people who walk the walk. Yeah, about the talk of community and uplifting other artists and backing projects that she's into and things like that. Because she doesn't have to back my project, and she's backed every damn one.
I like reading.
huge
I think
thank
it's a
you for
great
that.
story. It's a great book. I
Thank you.
really like it. So of course I'm gonna back it. I'm gonna
Awesome.
continue
I'm glad.
backing it. So
Well,
yeah.
I definitely appreciate it, because I would have gave you a copy of the book if you would have just
No,
asked me. So in fact,
I'm one of those people. I will pay for it.
yep, and
I
I
don't mind paying
appreciate you for
for it.
that. Thank you. But so we'll go ahead and let everybody know then, if that's cool with
Okay.
you.
Okay, that's fine.
For all you Anna superstar fans, Anna's doing a cover for Psycho Sal number 5.
Yay!
And
guess
I've already
what?
I'm already seeing the layout design that she's thinking, and it's a badass layout design.
And guess what?
What?
I'm gonna hide a banana in it.
You gotta hide a banana in it. What
You're
the
gonna
hell?
have to find it. You're gonna have to find it.
You should put a banana in his pocket.
I'm gonna hide several bananas. Be like, yep. I'm just gonna hide.
You know what? I'll tell you what. We'll do this. We'll make a fun contest out of this too. I'll tell you what. We'll do something really
Contest.
unique. You take your cover, and tastefully, of course, and real strategically try to hide, and let me know when you get it done how many you hid, so we'll know the exact number. Hide as many banana-shaped style stuff in there, again, to where they're real subtle, like hard to find Waldo shit. But hide as many bananas in there as you can that you can do comfortably, that it doesn't throw everything out of whack.
It doesn't have to be it can't be obvious.
Right, exactly. It's got to be some like fine Waldo shit.
Yeah.
And hide those in there. And we will do a contest where at some point when the Kickstarter's over with, we'll do a contest. We'll announce it, and then we'll let people figure out how many bananas are hidden on the page. And then whoever gets the right number first, we'll give them, I'll tell you, and I'll pay you for this to do it, but we'll do a copy of your cover, signed by me, signed by you, remarked by me, remarked by you, and we'll send it to CGC, and I'll cover the bill for all of it.
Oh, that's really nice. Okay, we can do that. Of course. I'm game.
All right, cool. So whatever you charge for signature, whatever you charge for remark, whatever, we'll do that, and then we'll send it to CGC and have it slabbed, and then that person will win. Will receive that as a win.
Yeah.
So
no problem.
So let me actually because I can't be on here much longer. We both got work to do. But so let me ask you this: since you're an artist and you have the stuff that you're into and that you like, and again, I don't want you to sugarcoat any damn thing, because you're not going to hurt my feelings.
Okay.
But give me, because have you read all 3 books so far?
Yes.
Okay. Give me your honest opinion. Like, what have you thought about? What have you thought about how it looks, quality, etc.? What have you thought about the story so far, with the first perspective being from Victor Gray's perspective? And then what is your thought and your idea about that concept of us doing this unique storytelling with the changing of the different perspectives every 3 books?
So I actually like this story. Like, I actually can follow it. It's easy. So the paneling's great. The interior is great. I think the perspective idea that you talked to me about is really interesting. Not a lot of books do that.
Right.
And I'm always about, when these things happen, what's the other person thinking about?
Right.
How do they perceive this situation or whatever? I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
I personally find it very interesting, intrigued, and very creative.
Awesome.
I think it's an approach that not a lot of writers, writers would take because it's like too much time investment or something like that. And then
Right.
a lot of the indie comics, they just want to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a nice change of pace. I do
Thank you.
like
Thank you.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that means a lot. I mean, that definitely means a lot coming from you guys, especially Nita, who reads tons of indie books. So she's got a lot of exposure to different types of books and things. And then, of course, Ariel being another extremely talented artist.
I found it,
And
yeah, it was
so I
definitely easy
appreciate it.
to read. A lot of like I back other people's books too that I
Right.
find interesting too, but sometimes it's just so great storytelling. It's of easy flow
Right.
of dialogue and paneling, whereas some are just so congested and clogged with text. Like
Right.
it's hard to follow.
Right.
And
And
then
that's one of the things I love about Chris's writing is he doesn't over talk.
right.
He's very
You
to
need to
the
talk
point.
enough. Yeah.
Oh, awesome, James. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, I'm super excited. I can, man, I'm so excited. I cannot wait.
the cover art's great. I like the choices. Actually, number 2, I got the game one that you
The
did.
NES.
I think that's actually a very cool idea that a lot
Thank
of
you. Have you
people
noticed how
do.
many NES covers have dropped since I did that cover?
Actually, no.
Yeah, I've
I
seen
didn't.
4. I've seen 4 since that book came out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, and that's what we wanted. Like that's what I love about Chris. I've read some of his books, The Ferryman and stuff like that. And for Chris Hayes, for those that don't know who I'm talking about, very talented writer, does a lot of horror comics and stuff like that. Incredible writer.
Well,
And
I'm sure you also oversaw this and edited because some of his books, this is enough dialogue for me, but some of the other books there's not enough dialogue.
right.
So I was surprised of the change here, which is a good change. So
Yeah, and it is because the way I handled mine is because I am a bit controlling. I kind of need to know what's happening, what's
good.
going
Yeah.
on. And so what I would do is I would sit down and I'd write like 4 or 5 pages of information about what characters are in this particular book, what's going on, what key points I need to happen, what interactions I need to happen, the tone and mood and everything that I need to really get across. And then I give that to Chris, and he would just kind of connect the dots in between all of it. So, and that's probably one of those things where it kind of, you got this bit of writing coming from the creator, and then he's implementing that, but then he's also implementing his flair and his energy in between those moments, which creates that more dialogue, but it's all still like to the point, not over descriptive, not over talking like somebody just running their mouth,
You guys got good synergy together.
Yeah, Chris is awesome. I love Chris's writing. And Lori's the one, Lori Calcaterra is the one writing issues 4, 5, and 6. Because for those tuning in that may not be aware of what we're talking about, with Psycho Sal, it's 9 issues on the first book, and the first 3 books are written from the perspective of the lead FBI agent working the murders, Victor Gray. When we get to issues 4, 5, and 6, we change that perspective, and now you're seeing and experiencing everything that's happening in the book through the eyes of one of the victims, this young lady named Toni Summers. And then when we get to 7, 8, 9, we change that perspective again. And now you are going to experience everything through the eyes of Psycho Sal. And we've seen comics where they're from the hero's perspective, and we've seen comics from the citizen's perspective, like with Marvel's back in the day with Alex Ross. And we've seen even a rare one here or there with comics where it might be the villain's perspective, but we've never really seen anything where it just kind of gave you this emotional kind of roller coaster of changing perspectives. Because the sad thing is you guys are going to love Toni. She's a young 20, like I think she's like 22 or something like that. Very, very sweet, very energetic, very positive. She's one of those people when you meet them, you automatically love them kind of persons, and then you're going to see how she just gets tortured with and mind screwed from the stalking and all this other stuff that he does to her until the day he takes her. And then it's real bad. So, and we wanted it to be that way because we don't want Psycho Sal to be one of those horror characters where people go, "Oh man, I really like Psycho. Oh, did you see what he did?" You know, we don't want anyone rooting for Psycho Sal. So, you know, with that writing and the changing of the perspectives, you know, we thought that would give you guys this inner type of feeling, being a bit more attached to one of the characters and stuff like that, and seeing how it really goes bad.
Shit, I want to know what Psycho Sal's thinking
Yeah,
through
that
all of
one I'm
this.
super excited.
See,
Yeah,
I might be biased. I like things like this. I like the psychological aspect of it. I like the thrill of it. So I might be a little biased. It does remind me of I have the Da Vinci Code too, where you know they figure out all these puzzles as well
yep,
to lead to the murder. Like I really like
yep,
that. So you know, yeah. So I
yeah,
think it's really creative, a different take in
yep.
the comic
And
book
I'm a
stuff.
big fan of horror in general, from slasher movies to obviously
Yeah.
old black and whites from the
Yeah.
30s and 40s. But I'm also like a Hitchcock fan in that thriller, you know,
Yeah,
stuff.
I did watch an original Hitchcock, and
Oh
I
yeah,
found it interesting.
yeah, it's great, man. It's great. I mean, how many movies you ever seen where they killed the main character off in the first 5 minutes of the movie? You know, with Psycho. Um, you know, and for a little history thing for you guys, back in the day when Psycho was first in movie theaters, people had to sign, or excuse me, not sign. People were not allowed to enter the movie theater after the movie had started, because if they came in late, because the main character, what's her name's mother, um, um, dies in the first 5 minutes, and so if you come in after that, like, you'd be all screwed up. So they wouldn't allow people in the theater once
Mhm.
it started. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing. But Hitchcock, yeah, Hitchcock was awesome. And so I kind of wanted to do that kind of mystery thing, because as of right now, no one has a clue who Psycho Sal is. People have
Mhm.
their little fan theories, which that's been pretty cool too.
I
Uh,
can't even think of a fan theory.
I've gotten some cool ones, and I've gotten one or two that were kind of close. But because later this year, I also have another book coming out that's going to be in and around Nolan's also. It's called Cycle of the Blood Moon, which is going to be about this ancient werewolf family from Europe that ends up migrating over here for this storyline that's going on. At first, the book is set in the 1700s when they first come to New Orleans, 1780 or so, I believe, and it has to do with some real old New Orleans history too. That's going to be put into the book.
Are you
So
gonna have a furry cover?
yeah,
Oh
you
my
got to have a furry cover.
god.
You know damn well it's got to be a furry cover. I saw someone at a con not too long ago that had a book, and it caught my eye because it had a werewolf on the cover. And I was like, holy hell, what is that? She tells me, she's like, oh, this is cool, so cool. She's like, it's about a werewolf who gets trapped at a furry convention.
Oh,
I was like, holy hell, that's
that's
pretty damn
interesting.
clever. Yeah.
That's
So
interesting.
sadly, I don't remember what the name of the book was or anything. I'm sure you could Google it, werewolf meets furry or something. I don't know. You might want to have your safe monitoring on or something though if you search that shit. But yeah. So that's what we want to do, and I can't wait to tell you guys the other artists that are on issue number 5. It's some big names. I'm super excited about it.
Gonna have an
But
AI artist on it.
yeah, that's what we need. We need an AI artist. There you
Need an
go.
AI artist.
Yeah. I keep joking with people, but I'm very tempted. Not the AI thing, but talking about another scammy thing. I'm thinking real hard about putting a literally extra stapled on acetate cover on Psycho
Oh, I mean that's what we did with Muffy.
Sal.
It was fun. It like
I'm so damn tempted to do it. Like make it
Clayton
like
Crane edition.
yeah, it'd be like on the Kickstarter as like a tier or
Oh
an
my
add-on. It's
god,
only
you
like
should do an
10 books.
homage.
Yeah, that has an acetate and I mean literally I'll take it and staple the bastard on the books, that kind of thing.
Do an homage, like
Let's see,
exact
really
look-alike with it.
um
Search on for that one.
oh yes, that Victor's tier on the Kickstarter, that's for people who may have missed issues 1, 2, 3. or whatever. But that Victor's perspective, those are all my covers on that particular perspective. Yeah, sadly, because of the artists that we bring on and the respect we show them, we don't reprint their covers. We don't, if their covers are on issue number 1, you can't go back issue number 2 and then get one of those and so on and so on. We stand by what we said, even though there's some of these covers, God, I'd love to have them on another Kickstarter. But like I said, we stand by that limited print run, exclusive to the Kickstarter only. Now like Ariel might possibly have some copies of her cover that she did, or these other artists from issues 1, 2, and 3 might have some copies of their comp copies. You could touch base with them and ask them, but I more than likely by this chance, probably not. But you can ask them. Never hurts to ask. But yeah, you better safe search on that one for sure. Oh, there you go, guys. Ariel's got some. So, and I'm telling you right now, that's a badass cover. So if you want Ariel's cover for Psycho Sal number 1, I think she did number 1. Send her a PM. I don't know what she charges for the books. Those are her artist comps. She can charge whatever she likes. But there you go. Holy shit, Ariel! I can't believe you still have some of those. Ariel, you gonna have to put those on your table at shows, damn it. Or make a post. I'll share it for you, because I still got people that ask me, do I have any Ariel covers? I'm like, no, I don't have any. I was like, I didn't get any. That was strictly for her. But thank you, Anna, so much, for being willing to do one of the covers. I'm so damn excited to see that cover. The layout is badass. I'm super excited. But yeah, let's do that. So when you do your design, hide you some bananas in there, and we'll make a fun contest out of that.
The first thing people always go for is the hair. Is it in the hair? Because sometimes like I do a lot of lines and curves and stuff. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
You could always, if you got a neck turn, you could always do a shadow under the jawline that looks like a jaw shadow, but it's shaped like a banana, like real subtle.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many ways you could hide it, from graffiti, like obvious shit, like a graffiti on the wall. And don't be afraid to do that. Like if you want to throw like somebody tag the wall with a banana, go for it. Like an obvious one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there'll be tons of ways you could hide stuff in
graffiti,
that type
the
of
word
designs.
AI on it.
Yeah, there you go.
Skynet is after us.
Oh, there you go. Oh, wait a minute. This is 1986. When did Terminator come out? 80.
I don't know. You know more than I do.
82, 80.
Don't be telling folks where to find them.
No. What I was going to say, that would be kind of fun. You could do like a little actual.
There has to be some obvious ones, and
No, I don't mean that. Like, I'm not even talking about the banana. I'm talking about you could write as a kick to AI. You could write on graffiti on one of the walls, like somebody wrote it on there with a marker. Or you could write "Skynet is coming" or something like that. Because Terminator came out in '84. This is 1986.
Okay.
So that'd be kind of cool.
I don't know why I just like think of all the Homer Simpson shit, like like the Simpsons predicted this will happen.
I'm telling you, somebody needs to like do some scientific checking on that dude. That show's gotten way too much shit right. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah. So guys, be ready. And I'm gonna get off here so Anna, so we can get back to work. And Anna, thank you so much for jumping on and chatting with me about the AI stuff, the Senate hearing, and
next time I'll have a cam. I have to put together my new desk and all this webcam crap.
So you gotta get everything ready for our OnlyFans page.
Yeah, of course. Got to make that extra money.
The sad thing is we're joking about that bullshit. Look, we keep joking about that, and the sad reality of it is, you could probably start an OnlyFans and throw nothing on that damn thing but bananas.
Yeah.
And you'd probably make stupid money.
But
nothing but bananas.
Am I a scammer, or if I mean, people pay for stupid shit all the time.
Yeah, they do.
Like, even
it's only free. They're like, it's only $3.95.
You get 500 people to pay for it. That's $500 or whatever. Like,
Well, it's because they look at it like this. They go, well, it's only $3 a month. It's only $5 a month.
yeah.
You
I
know,
mean, people pay for stupid bath water and Amorett's fart jars.
that's
I mean,
right. They sure did.
honestly, I personally, if they want to use their body, make money, whatever. If people want to pay for dumb shit, whatever. I
Yeah.
just wish people pay artists dumb, like, just
Yeah.
dumb shit. Just throw money at us. Fuck.
Yeah, it is. It's real aggravating. Like I don't hate, like, even for ladies in the art industry. I mean, whether people want to admit to this shit or not, women get more attention in the art community than they want to admit they do.
I think I do. Yes.
100%. And the reason I know that's fact is because I've seen people line up at one artist booth compared to the other just because they had a pretty girl in the booth. I've seen that same person not have someone in a booth and they ain't hardly nobody there. The game is the game. And I don't have an issue with the game. Like, I mean, not the game, but the people playing the game. I don't blame anybody. I'm telling you right now, if I was cute with a nice cleavage, I'd have my shit showing on the damn channel too.
Shit, I don't even show my cleavage. I'm just here. I'm
You
just
don't got to.
But here's the thing. There are also many men who do get lines too. So it's not just the
Oh, yeah,
girl
there's some
thing
pretty guys.
now.
Yeah,
However,
there's
if you're
some pretty
starting
guys.
them stuff, people will tend to levitate over an
Yeah.
openly talkative or whatever girl sitting there. However, men, which is most of the industry, will get a line too now.
Well, they do, but now, to be fair, again, where women are getting a line and they've got some talent and stuff like that, and that's awesome. Sex is still the game. So, I mean, sadly, there's a lot of dudes that are walking around every day thinking that they're about to pull every female they walk into. So
I have no idea how many people has tried to like ask for a date or even, like, unbelievable. And the thing is, like, oh, I just lost my train of thought.
That's actually true, Frederick. That's definitely true.
I have a lot of men who say the same thing. If I was a girl, I'd be freaking showing it off and thotting all day, no shame.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Guys just thinking like, oh, if they were a girl, I'd be thotting too, no shame, blah 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 blah. I'm like, I bet you would.
I'm telling you, there's no doubt. Because, like I said, I worked in the casino world for 10 years. 6 of those years I worked in beverage. I was around cocktail waitress. I know how the game works. I worked as a bouncer in the club for a long time where it was more adult stuff. I know how the game works. And the game still applies to, so that's why you see a lot of even sellers now are starting to play that game.
They have booth babes for a reason.
Bingo, exactly. And sellers online are now putting pretty faces in front of the camera instead of them doing it anymore. Like I said, it's a game.
Personally, all I do is just sit there. I don't show my cleavage. I don't show anything. I don't even wear full makeup or whatever. I'm just a girl, and it just automatically like that, and it is like that.
Don't let Anna fool you guys. I've seen her at some of these bigger shows.
I mean, I am kind of cute, but
she's being all sweet and innocent, like, and the guys are standing there with like googly eyes, just like.
I get a lot. You know what's the funny thing? I actually get a lot of more females to my table.
Oh, you will.
I actually do get a lot more females come to my table because they say that I'm more approachable or whatever. How about you guys just stop looking grumpy? That's it.
Well, I mean, the other unique thing about, which is kind of unique, the comic industry, it's kind of strange that like a lot of the ladies that tend to be around the comic industry, as far as fans are concerned, cosplay, etc., they're kind of into the both sides of the road kind of thing. You know what I mean? Not all, and I don't mean that as a broad stroke. It's just, I've heard some of the conversations. I've been part of some of the conversations, and it happens more than not. And more power to everybody. I don't care. Knock yourself out. But like I said, I don't blame them. I don't blame anybody for playing the game if they do play the game. I don't blame them.
No, there are definitely people who do. I mean, it's so noticeable and whatnot too, especially like when they put their main image of the shows. It's like some girl's cleavage, and they have a booth babe that sells or whatever. I mean,
Yep.
even when Black Flag, like when April was on there, I thought she was a hot chick, and I thought
Yep.
that was a brilliant idea.
Oh yeah.
Melinda's
Look,
Comics, she's a good looking
Yeah.
chick.
I've seen,
I
you know,
mean,
but I was here when that first started, as far as like seeing when he put her out front for the most of the time. I mean, I remember seeing shows where it was just him. There weren't hardly anybody in those live feeds. And then the minute he started putting her in the video,
oh
it was
yeah.
game over.
I mean, at shows, I used to, when I did anime shows or whatever, I purposely looked for a good looking female or a cosplayer. No offense to the guys, but if you're a guy, you have to be a cosplayer and good looking too.
Yeah.
Good
Oh
looking
yeah.
to
I
the
mean,
masses.
well, to be fair and be honest, I get people are attracted who they're attracted to, but 9 times out of 10, you ladies are going to be hotter than us any given day in any given moment.
I don't
And
know.
there's-
Some of these
Oh, now there's
cosplayers,
some that
they-
needs to be
they
washed
look
down with a
really
fire
good.
hose and then doused
Dude,
with lye
uh,
and shit like that.
it was at
And
New York City Comic Con. We actually had we allowed 2 of the very popular cosplayers come borrow time at our booth or whatever, and one of them was he had millions of followers. Oh my god, all these girls like flocked to him, but he was like, guys with like a straight hard abs and everything, and cosplaying like really hot characters, whatever.
yeah.
But oh my god, we were fucking surrounded and crowded. It was such a problem. We told them to go away because they
Yeah,
were
there's-
covering our booth.
There's no doubt about it. You know, and it's so funny because if that hot guy, and then there's some of these dudes I've seen at Comic Cons, including artists, but some of these guys that have cosplayed certain characters, I mean, there's no doubt about it. They're badass looking dudes, man. They're shredded. They got a great facial structure, beautiful, style, type of hair cut or whatever that looks really good on them. You can tell they really do care about their appearance, and they put a lot of time and effort into their appearance. And I don't mean some swole up jack dude. I don't mean that. I just mean, ripped and, cut and, kind of size. And because they're cosplaying, tons of, can I get a picture? Can I get a picture? Can I get a picture? But it's kind of funny because if they'd have just seen him in a restaurant or something in regular clothes, even though he's still good looking dude,
yeah,
it would have been like, wouldn't say shit.
Yeah.
So the cosplay, again, it works for guys too. If you're a good looking dude and you're built, I'm gonna give you guys a piece of advice.
That's a really good fucking cosplay, man. I mean,
yeah, the cosplay matters too. But I'm gonna give you guys a piece of advice. If you want attention, confidence works. I mean, I'm a big dude. I'm confident. I can pull ass anytime I want to pull ass. That ain't an issue. But it can still only get you so far. If you want to make an impression and you want to have more choices, get your ass in the gym, eat right, get your body into some kind of shape other than round, and you'll see a huge difference.
There are people who appreciate the round. They prefer round.
Oh, no doubt. But it is a smaller market.
If you can draw your feet, if you draw with your feet, people be coming to take pictures of your feet.
There you go.
Oh, Ariel, you're a good-looking chick.
Yep.
You start showing your face on Whatnot or just using a cute picture of yourself in the Whatnot thumbnail. Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, you have skills. Your artwork is amazing, but like if you just add in your yourself on the camera, that's why people tend to lean towards videos or whatever that has a picture of themselves or the person interacting. I mean, well, even you, Anna has no cam. I'm sure if I had my cam on, it would attract more people,
It would. It would. I'm not about.
No, I know how it works, man.
I know how the game works. I know how guys are, and I know how most women are. Like I said, I've worked in 2 industries that were very dependent on looks and interacting. So
I mean, it's sad. It's really sad, but I mean, sometimes
look,
can't help being female. Okay,
this is where it's frustrating. Like when you got a talented person who's legitimately talented, that can sit down and draw, paint, whatever the case may be, guitarist, whatever, that's true talent, that's put in the work, and they're getting attention because they're all so pretty. Not a big deal. It's okay. I don't blame them, and it's not their fault. That's just life. what's frustrating is shit like these damn TikTok videos and stuff where I got to sit here and see some person bounce up and down half-ass naked for 10 seconds and they got 500,000 damn views or something.
Yeah.
That's what's frustrating. And it's also, it also takes away from the other females who actually have talent, and it isn't them trying to sell their butthole for $5.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's what's frustrating. That's what pisses people off. That's in the, the creative community. It isn't that it's a pretty, let's say a pretty guy or a pretty girl getting lots of attention, but they can actually draw or paint or whatever. It's the bullshit like that. That's what's annoying.
And that's the thing, like, Ariel rather art speak for itself. Yes, you should. It should be that way.
Yeah.
It's just, other people rather use the easier way, the more sexist kind of way,
It works.
I mean,
why do you
whatever
think
works
there's
for
so
them,
many
whatever they're
female
comfortable with, they can do whatever. And
Yeah.
it is pretty disgusting that, it's these people that, want to show their tits or their butthole or whatever for 5 seconds because people are impulsing and, they're going to click it and, they generate money that way. But,
Yep.
whatever. It's on them. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's
$5
crazy.
scanned. That's at least $6.
Well, I mean, there was some guy, a rapper guy or someone. There was a clip on. He was talking to his girlfriend, and he sounds like he's British, but he was talking to his girlfriend, and because a lot of guys are kind of starting to like, if you got TikToks and you got all this shit, I don't want nothing to do with you. And if you got to have these type of fans, I don't want nothing to do with you. And kudos to those guys for taking a damn stance on it. But he sat there and told her, he's like, what do you want me to think? And I'm gonna paraphrase here a little because I can't quote it, but basically he was saying, what do you expect me to think about this? You're selling pictures of your private for $5 online. He was like, I pay $10 for Netflix. Yeah, you're cheaper than my Netflix bill. And I was like, yeah, he's right. Like I'm all about people being strong, independent, and all of that flavor. But is it? I don't know. Again, it's another one of those things I can't wrap my head around. Because I mean, there's a market for guys too. I mean, there's a market. You could sell.
Oh yeah.
You could sell private pics. Without ever having to show any of the rest of your body. I mean, there is, but.
Nita flicks me $16.99 a month.
Yeah, it's got to be more. It's got to be higher than Netflix, man. Come on.
No, we have. Yeah.
Hit my damn desk. I hit my desk with my knee, and there's statues up there.
We
desk.
shouldn't be selling ourselves, and at cons, it kind of sucks that people are going to tend to. I mean, this comic industry has mostly been men.
Oh yeah, of course.
And having a few females, most people will gravitate towards a female. Well, it's also our skill. I mean, we are good.
Now,
you can't deny that it's also because you're a female. I mean, I'm not going to deny that. Like people will gravitate towards it.
I mean,
especially when they're like the new toy in the industry or whatever, because there aren't
many.
It's
not just that. Also, I mean, sadly, a lot of guys, they still thinking with the little head. So, I mean, they go, oh, here's an up and coming girl. Let me try to pull her under my wing. I'll get her this gig and I'll get her that gig. And then later on, she'll own me.
I mean, even females, like female collectors, whatever, they're going to gravitate more towards the females because we are like each other and it's just easier. Whereas, honestly, most of the time when I go to cons, a lot of the men do look very grumpy, and it's hard to approach them. They either have this elitist nature about them, or just look very grumpy. Like I've had people like seen other like guests or whatever. They just all look mad, grumpy, or just trying to get my money.
Yeah, it is, and I think a lot of that comes down to the nature of it. I think most males aren't necessarily seeking attention. And I'm not saying women are seeking attention. I don't mean it that way. It's just when you got fans and you got this guy sitting behind the desk with this sourpuss, look on his face because he kind of comes. I mean, really and truly, he looks like he doesn't want to interact with anyone. So it looks like he doesn't want the attention. But then you look over at a young lady, artist or creator, and they're smiling and they're, you know, maybe even they wave or, you know, shit like that. It's definitely a different approach. You know, that's one of the reasons, like, I try my best to be as outgoing as I can at my tables. You know, I talk to people as they walk by, stuff like that. And I'll look over and I'll see some of these dudes and they just got their head buried. I'm like, how the hell do y'all do anything? I was like, but I also came from, you know, again,
Well, yeah, there are a lot of people
industry. So
who do like still have an anxiety or, you know, little shy. I mean, I used to be that way too. Like I was
yeah,
shy. I was afraid to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing or whatever. But you know, if you want to survive in this industry and be successful, because you
yep,
have to learn how to communicate effectively. You have to eventually get out of the shell and
yeah,
be able to communicate, not just like just have a conversation. Just like if you see a cool cosplay, tell them to come over and take a picture.
yep,
And
yep.
it's fine to geek out or whatever, but you have got to learn how to communicate.
Yeah, you do. It's super
Or else
important.
people will just
We,
avoid you and don't,
yeah,
you know, some people say, "Oh, I don't want to bother you when you're drawing and stuff," but there are ways to kind of work around that. And you know, sometimes when I see like even glimpse, like I've trained myself to like as I draw, I can see other things happening too. And some people like, you know, they kind of want to see what you're drawing, but they don't want to
yep,
come over. Invite them over. And it's okay. Tell them that it's okay. You
yep.
know,
I do the exact same thing. You
that's
got
how
to,
you start that's how you kind of start interactions and
yep.
conversations. And you know mm, that is why some people are more likely to buy your stuff because you know you end up having conversation with them, you
Yep.
made their day or whatever. They don't even have to buy anything, it's just you made
It's
someone's
the
day.
interaction. They won't forget that. Like I'm a big believer, again, coming from the entertainment. I mean, that helped me a lot working in the, you know, as a dealer in the casino world. You have to be upbeat, you have to be entertaining, you have to be engaging. And then, you know, working as a bouncer, you know, you learn to read people's mannerisms, you learn to read
Yeah,
people's energy and things like that about what you can kind of do and say. And for those that don't know, if you're ever a bouncer in a club, that you'll learn real quick how that works.
them
Um,
hundred women with face and neck tats are kind of scary, but they be thick as
yeah, and
no,
then, you know,
just look at individuals as individuals, you know,
yeah,
just if they do act a little, so I've worked with all types of people before too, and you know, if they act a little awkward and stuff, you know, maybe they just don't know how to interact correctly. You
yeah,
can probably help them, make them feel comfortable at a
yep,
con or something like that. You never know, but yeah, having experience does help. And I
yeah.
think a lot of artists don't have that experience because
No, they've lived
got
most
into
of their life
business.
closed off, you know.
Yeah, so
They're head
yeah,
down and they're drawing and then they work their regular job and go home. Most artists and creators are usually introverts, you
yes.
know. So you got to learn, but you got to learn how to get outside of that bubble
I
and learn how to talk to people for
I
sure.
call myself an introverted extrovert.
Yeah, once I
I
get
decide
home,
when to be extrovert.
yep. Once
I'm
I get
really
home, I'm
introverted.
introverted, man. Once I'm at the hotel,
Yeah,
I'm introverted. You know, when I'm at the con, I'm trying to interact and trying to talk.
yeah,
And I look at it as we're there to put on a show. And you try to do it the right way. You try to be engaging. You try to be you know, a little entertaining and give people a pleasant time. And, you know, because I look at it as they paid their hard earned ass money to come into this place to see me
yeah.
or see someone else. And these things aren't cheap to get into most cases. And, you know, they're willing to come to my table. The least I can do is give them a good interaction. This whole sitting down with this pouty ass attitude and holier than thou, don't you know who I am bullshit. I mean, which is
And
why I
don't you
wear
know
my,
who I am? Why are you not buying my stuff? Why are you
yeah,
buying my stuff? I think the worst case was when a veteran artist was shaming on the artist next to them and trying to steal their customers or fans or whatever.
yep,
That was disgusting. Like this is
yep,
why you don't get the supporters because you're grumpy, you're
yep,
doing things that are awful, and you're not making yourself approachable. You're not doing
yep,
yourself any favor. Just because you're a legend artist and you have your colors, sure.
yep.
But there's a
Yeah,
reason why.
I was at Dragon Con one year and there was an artist right next to me. and I'm sitting in my booth. I've got like 10 people deep, and I'm sitting here talking to them. They're buying things. I'm giving stuff to different people. This one person comes up and they're like, you know, do you have so-and-so character? And I was like, oh yeah, I won't do Dragon Con anymore. But anyway, I was like, no, I don't have that one. I'm so sorry. You know, I've got this character, that character. And while I'm sitting there, you know, just kind of saying, okay, I got this. And I'm just, oh, is that your favorite character? Do you have any other? Like, I'm carrying this conversation while I'm dealing with his partner that was with him. And this artist in the next booth speaks up and goes, oh, well, if he doesn't have it, I got it over here. So if you want to over here, I'll show you what I got. And I'm sitting there still interacting with the person that's with me. I didn't say shit. I let it go. Then when they walked away and they left his table, I leaned over. I told him, I was like, hey, I just want to give you a heads up. That poaching bullshit is wrong.
Yeah.
I don't mind for you waiting till we're done with our transaction and they mosey to your side and then you engage them. Oh, hey, I heard you guys were looking for so-and-so and William didn't have it. I've got one back here if you want to get it. I'm fine with that. But you trying to poach on someone while they're standing at my table, possibly purchasing more stuff. I was like, that's a no-no. If you do it again today, I'm going to bust you in your fucking mouth.
That's at every show, though. It's not just so. I personally love Dragon Con, but that's like every freaking show.
Well,
like,
knock on wood, that was my one and only time that's happened.
I've had that. Like, it happens a lot more in the gaming and anime industry because some just don't have that same respect.
Right.
But you know, that's from my experience, and I actually had that happen recently. But it's I'm not gonna name names or whatever.
No, you're okay.
They're kind of old school, and I don't think their communication was, you know, not up there. So I don't think they were realize it doing it. But I had a customer, you know, ask about commissions and stuff like that. I told them, you know, I don't really do this type of commission or blah blah blah. And usually I suggest an artist, right? But they intervene and cut me in the middle of the conversation, and I was just like, I know they didn't mean any harm because I know how they are. I didn't, you know, I should have talked to him about that, but like, yeah. And then of course, you know, they kind of poached or whatever. But
yeah. So for any artists that might listen to this, don't do that. Wait till their conversation's done, and then when they walk away from the table, you're free to engage and do whatever.
Respect,
but
you know?
Yeah, like I said, luckily, knock on wood, that's only happened once. Now, the other thing that's happened 3 times over the last 3 years to this previous year, or this year, to this year, was, and one was from an old cat, one was from a semi-old cat, and then one was from somebody that was just kind of in the industry somewhat. So you've seen my table before. I got my table. I got my prints behind me on my print wall. So this one, and the one is previous is this past MegaCon Orlando. They want to come up to your table. And this is another thing for any artist, whether you're vets or newbies. Don't tell nobody what the hell to do with their booth unless they ask your opinion on the shit, okay? Unless you're paying their bill, shut the fuck up. But anyway, excuse my language. But he... They pretty much had the same kind of shit. One was, hey man, I see that you got all these published books and stuff on your table. You know, when are you going to stop messing with this print wall stuff? You know, that kind of screams amateur. And I told him, I was like, and I tried to be polite about it. Like I try to be polite when people first overstep their boundaries. You know, I give them the benefit of maybe they're just not aware they're being, you know, a dick. And I go, well, you know what, man, you know, now this conversation was 2 years ago. And I was like, well, you know what, man, you know, the prints do pretty good. And I'm you know, and everybody seems to be liking it. So I really haven't given it much thought, you know, trying to end the conversation. And he goes, well, you really should give it some thought because considering the amount of books that you got on the table that are published, you know, that, like I said, that just kind of screams amateur, you know.
Wait.
You know, we bigger artists, we don't really do that.
Is this from a veteran artist?
Yeah.
Does his name and his last name starts with the R?
I'd have to double check. Like, give me another letter. Or will you be giving too much away?
I'll be giving too much
Oh,
away.
okay. Just send it to me later. I'll know it when I see it, but because I'm terrible with names, but I'll know it once I see it. So, and then I just politely told him, I was like, I appreciate your feedback, but this is just how I do my booth, but you have a good day. So and he walked away. So then I had another person that made a similar comment at a show. Now he isn't an artist, he isn't a creator, he just kind of promotes certain artists in a way, but not big name. You know what I'm saying? It's not big names, it's just minor shit. And he tried to pull the same thing. Now, I had a smaller print wall when that happened, like an 8-foot one. Now, once they told me that shit, I went back and had McLean make me a 14-foot tall one. So I'm one of those assholes. You tell me not to do something, I'm going to go bigger. But the one that bothered me.
Dawson, hey Dawson.
Does he have teeth?
Does he have teeth?
What's up, Mr. James?
James, my favorite guy. No offense to everybody else.
Yeah, James is a super nice guy. So now the most recent one was, and apparently he did it more than just me, because Ryan Kincaid had made a post about it, about people minding their business and not telling artists what to do with their booths. And I think Ryan deleted it after a little while, but he had it up. We're doing good, brother. Thank you. So this guy, he comes up to my table at Fan Expo, MegaCon Orlando, and he sits there. He's looking through my portfolio. Then he's looking at the rack with the comps, all my artists' comps, exclusives. And then he looks up at the print wall, and he goes, he's like, what are you charging for signatures at this show? And I go, oh, well, I don't charge to sign at shows. If they bring me something, I'll sign it for free. Or if they buy something from my table, I sign it for free. I was like, and then I made a joke, and I was like, well, now, unless they bring me, 20 copies of Stray Dogs or Department of Truth, and then we're going to have to talk about it. And, okay. He's like, we artists, we kind of have a standard of how we do things. And, and looking at your work here, you've done a lot of books. You've got some really cool art in your portfolio and stuff. He was like, once you get to this level that we're in, you need to do away with that print wall. I was like, well, okay. Well, I mean, I appreciate your feedback, man. I tried to stay polite about it. And then he just kept going. And then the other thing too is, this book right here, because I see some of the books on the wall. I'm assuming this folder is all your published comic art, right? Your original art for the covers. It's like, yeah, yes, sir, it is. He's like, okay, well, we kind of have a standard. You need to adjust these prices in this folder.
Standard?
Yeah. Oh, it gets better. He was like, you need to adjust the prices in this folder to reflect that. So, if you're doing covers for Image Comics or these other projects, you should be charging like $1,000 minimum and then go up from there.
Is he trying to like up the price of everything or down the price? What's standard?
No clue. This is my first conversation with this one. And now this is somebody's been in the business like 20, 25 years or some shit. Now, and I'm not going to drop his name because of who he is and how long he's been. Right. So that one I'm not going to say, because I'm okay with people having their opinion. I'm fine with that. Even if I
did message you the person's name.
Huh? Oh, did you? Okay. So then he turns around and he goes, hang on one second. Yeah.
Oh, it is. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. That was the first one.
Situation.
The first one.
Oh my God, I knew it.
Yeah, the semi-polite one. All right, so then he goes, now, also, this comment you making about you don't sign books at shows, you don't charge to sign books at shows. Again, we as professional artists, you need to start charging to sign. And I was like, okay, I mean, look, man, like, I get what you're saying. I'm the first to admit my prices in my binders are still what I consider crackhead prices. my price, because he made a comment, the same comment about my commission prices. And I was like, and I understand what you're saying about the commissions compared to the amount of work I've done. My prices should definitely be higher. I will be the first to admit to that. Even just comparing it to the other people that are in my lane of popularity that's done similar workloads that I've done, like I get that. I was like, but I'm kind of comfortable with it right now. And I'm going to do a price increase here soon at some point. And I was like, and I appreciate your feedback, man. Thank you so much for taking the time to stop and look. And then he goes, and I was like, and man, I hope you have a good day. Like I tried 2 times to end the conversation. And then he goes, and then the other thing you really, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, you really need to take that print wall down. That does not say you're a professional. Now I'm pissed.
I want to know who this person is. You can
Yeah.
message if you want, but there's no quote standard. That's actually funny because people are always complaining how signatures should be free, right, and stuff like that. And this guy comes like, oh, you should be charging. I guess he's a guy that wants to make money or something.
Well, I mean, let's just be honest. Most of these old cats, that's what they're making money off of is signatures, selling originals. So obviously they want that shit higher.
They're trying to make the whole industry more so people can pay more and stuff. Right. So I guess he's looking for his own benefits, but I didn't know there was a quote standard. Yeah.
Well, at that point, I'm pissed because I've tried to end their conversation like 2 times, 3 times. And then he made the comment about, that's frowned upon and that doesn't make you a real artist, or however he worded it. So at that point, nobody's standing around but him and the 2 artists on the tables next to me. And I just lean over the table. I was like, look, man, I've tried to end this conversation with you 2 times. You disrespected me 3 times. I was like, this is my fucking booth. I paid for the travel. I paid for the hotel. I paid for the spot. You got 2 options at this point. Shut your fucking mouth and walk off, or you're going to bounce off the fucking floor. That's your choice.
And the funny thing is, like, I was about to say, like, I wish these type of people came to my booth, but I'm a girl.
I don't know why the fuck I keep attracting them. I don't understand how I keep attracting them. I don't fuck with nobody. I don't go to nobody's post and say shit. I don't go to nobody's.
Yeah, you should send them to me, man.
I don't say shit to nobody. I let people do their thing. I don't give opinions on covers unless it's AI related shit. Now that I'll voice my opinion on, but I don't give opinion on covers. I don't give opinion on artist attitudes, like calling them out. I don't give opinions on none of that shit. And for some reason, I keep getting stuck with these people that want to, argue with me or tell me what to do with my booth, or I get targeted by the asshole artists that want to talk shit and slander my, try to slander my name and shit. Behind closed doors. And like I said, I don't get it. I don't mess with nobody.
Involuntarily critiquing work. That's always the best. Like, I just smile at them and be like, okay, thanks. Bye. No one asked for your critique. I'm here.
I broke.
If I wanted it, I would have asked.
Yeah, I broke that one because there for a long time when I first was doing this, I would get those involuntary, those unrequested critiques. And I'm just proud of what I'm doing. Yeah, it's not perfect, but I'm just proud and I'm sharing it to my page. But I did enough videos, I think, about don't give me your critique unless I ask for it. I don't give a shit. Like, I think I did enough videos of those during the Angry Artists, videos in the first couple of years that it kind of stuck. Because knock on wood, I've not had that happen in like years. All I get now is those psychos at the con that want to tell me what to do with my booth, or I get those psycho artists that want to bitch and complain because they're not getting covers or they're not getting invites to shows that want to try to talk shit about me, saying that I'm getting handed favors and shit like that. And I'm like, no, bitch, I'm working my ass off for what I get.
How come I don't get these things? I want psychos at my booth.
Well, I'll send the next one.
I want stories. I want to create stories. All I hear from other people, or like being at a known comics booth for several years. All these people are like, "How come my book has a ding? That's not a 9.8 or blah 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 blah." And then that's the only stories I get.
Well, I'll make sure the next time we're at a con together.
Yeah, just send them to me.
I'll guarantee you I'll get another one. I don't understand. Even if you're an established artist, I understand for the travel, it's a pain in the ass. But I'm sorry. I'm not Jim Lee. I'm not Fabok. I'm not David Finch. I'm not Ryan Kincaid. I'm not any of these guys that's been doing this longer than me. These guys can show up at cons with their banner, a few of their exclusives, and they can rock the house. For the most part, no one knows who I am. I'm still an infant. I'm 5 years in. Yeah, 70 plus published covers, thousands of damn commissions done in the 5 years. But I'm still a nobody in the grand scheme of things. So I use that banner as a marking tool at cons so people can see me. That's why it's 12 feet tall most of the time. The wall of prints, I've got some artist comps, but not everybody can afford to pay, $20 or $15 for a comp, or they may not have no interest in it. I've not landed Marvel or DC yet, so I don't have that clout to help. So I've got to do what I got to do to generate the income to make all of this worth doing. Because I do enjoy the shows. I love seeing everybody. When I go to, I don't get to interact with people at home. Probably one of the reasons we've been talking so damn long on this video. When we're at home, we don't get to hang out with nobody. We're not spending time at the bar with anybody. We're not even really getting to spend time with family. We're grinding deadlines. So when I go to shows and I get to see you other artists, when I come up to you and I visit you at your table, I go out of my way to go see you guys at the table. It's not because I'm trying to put on some fake front or trying to gain favors or bullshit like that. I'm genuinely happy to see you. When I go to these retailers that have their booths, for selling merch and stuff like that, I know. I'm not going over because I'm trying to favor it up. I really do like these people, and so it's I want to be able to go and I want to be able to afford it. So I got to sell shit at my table that sells, and prints sell tremendously well.
Nita, thanks for joining us. You're watching at Target. You're watching the whole stream while you were at Target.
Oh my God! That's
wow, what a dedicated fan!
No shit. Apparently, well, now we know if we do an OnlyFans, we'll know Nita's subscribing no matter what.
Only Nita fans.
She'll be the only one.
Ariel, you say I am sweet or whatever, but man, I swear if that guy, okay, so who we were talking about, if he was next to me, like I wish they placed me next to him because I will tear manure. I have no respect. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're a veteran artist, but if you're acting nasty like that and talk down on me, I will be disrespectful for you. I will not respect your craft. I don't care how much you contributed to the industry. I will talk you down.
Yeah, you're not going to talk to me like shit.
Because they treated my friend like shit. Ryan even posted about it and he took it down. Yeah.
Oh,
that's who we were talking about. Yes. James Dawson. No. No Comics only had, Darren and them, they can't ever buy a spot because it's a grandfather system. So everybody's booked up. So they got a spot from Comic Sketch Art like every year, and they actually reduced it to one. So they only have David Nakayama because it was supposed to be Marco Mastrozzo too.
Yeah.
I could have went as just an attendee and to help them, but I was like, nah. I mean,
I want to go. I want to go so bad. New York and San Diego is obviously on my list, but it's so hard, James. It's so hard for us small cats, so to speak. It's hard.
I think I'm gonna start applying to Artist Alley. We went from 2 people to 10. Well, jeez. I mean, you guys actually have like a
they got a booth
thing. I don't know about Darren. No, SDCC is this weekend.
Yeah.
It's happening
it's definitely on my list for sure.
Wait, no, it's next weekend. Yeah, next weekend.
You know what we ought to try to do, Anna? We ought to try to submit the paperwork sometime and see if you and I can get like you and I can get like a double table or a booth or something. At
no. You know how SDCC Artist Alley works, right?
Which one?
SDCC.
Oh no. How's it work? I'm sure it's grandfather.
For Artist Alley, it's half a table. It's 3 feet.
Oh. No shit.
Like the real SDCC, yeah.
4-foot tables.
Yep. And
holy
it's not even much of an Artist Alley.
Wow.
Okay, if you want to compare New York Comic Con San Diego, New York is more about the artists and comics, whereas SDC's entertaining. But now that the strike is going on and Marvel opt out and stuff like that,
Yeah, it'll
there
be
will be
more
more
comic stuff.
people in the exhibitors
Wow.
and the exhibitor booths. Ever since when things back to normal, it's all the grandfather system,
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. Of course,
Wow.
if you are going to go to SDC, make it worthwhile. Have exclusives, have everything in that 3 foot space or whatever. Have pre-orders, pre-show commissions. You will make money. Like
Wow. Oh
getting
yeah,
a
I'm sure.
space
Yeah.
in Artist Alley is hard. Getting space as an exhibitor is hard as hell because it's like a 99.9% book rate. Then you got big people like Comic Sketchers. They don't even have enough tables.
Wow.
Then you got
Okay.
Scott's Collectibles, and Darren can't even get
Yeah.
enough comics in.
Yeah. I guess it'll be one of those where I'll have to go as a fan. You
New
know?
York, see, that's how I did it. So in 2019, luckily, I talked to CGC, and that was when Spencer was still working, not Brittany. They
Yeah.
did have me as a guest at their CGC booth for one day, which gave me a weekend pass too. So I was able to do things and explore at SDCC myself. You could talk with the retailer too if they have the space for
Right.
you, and that's always another way. Or you can just manage to get tickets because
Yeah.
SDCC getting tickets is also a wait list, by the way.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
like
I figure about the only way
Fair.
I'll get in as a fan, it'll have to be one of those things like somebody I know that's a retailer or someone like
Yeah.
that.
If you want to sit
Or
at a table, sure, but you can
yeah,
also just go and say you are around. You can work in your hotel
right.
because there are people who do that and do
Okay.
sales at the hotel, like getting the exclusive and things like that.
Okay.
So that is a way you can work around too as an artist if you want to invest the money. Um, SDC is always a wait list.
Yeah, I knew that part.
Getting in as Artist Alley, getting in as exhibitor, even getting in as a fan is a wait list.
Yeah.
New
Yeah,
York
like I said,
Comic Con is a wait.
I figure
It's
the
a
only way
same
I'll
way.
get in is grab one of these people that, again, seller, retailer, whatever, that has a bunch of passes because they got a booth or whatever that might have an extra one that I could get.
Yeah,
That'd
like
probably be the only way.
even Darren, like Darren asked me if I wanted to help at the booth and
Yeah.
get in that way, but I was like, no, because it does get crazy and I don't
Yeah.
really want to be working.
Yeah, I
So
don't want to go to it and work. I just want one of those like
yeah.
you do me a favor and I'll owe you a
Yeah, I mean,
favor kind
you
of
could probably
thing.
look your way and
Yeah.
next year. But yes, New York Comic Con is much easier for a
Yeah.
creator to get in. They do accept like new people and they do a jury system too. So it's not always a veteran. Of course,
Right.
you do have the blocks. They aren't really reserved. Every artist, even if they are guests, has to apply and get juried because we did have 4 out of the 8 artists get accepted.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah, I
2 that
knew.
got rejected are Marvel and DC artists too, but they don't go to
Right.
cons enough and they don't have a history maybe. I don't know
Yeah.
why. But
Well, I also heard that there a few years ago, New York started doing some type of rotation too, to try to.
if it's a COVID thing, then that's just a COVID thing.
No,
They're
no.
gonna
I
say
think when
whatever
I heard
they
about
want.
this was pre-COVID when I heard about
Uh,
this. They were saying that some bigger name artists talking about that they weren't going to get in this year because they did the year before, and that they were told that they were rotating some of the bigger names.
well,
Now, I don't know how true that is.
well,
It's just
I don't think so.
yeah, I
I
don't
think
know.
they're just going to take whoever they think has, they do. So, from my understanding, at least, even with friends in the other industry,
Right,
it's good to have done a repop show already, like Emerald and
right,
C2E2, so you can put it on their application that you have done these big shows like Dragon
right,
Con, MegaCon, or whatever, and they do want to see what work you have done. I think Marvel, DC, Image, Aspen,
right.
whatever. Check. Have you applied this year?
Yeah, I've got mine
Your
in. So I
application.
sent them. Yeah, I sent them the list of stuff I've done. I sent them. I think I sent a picture of my booth, and then I sent
Yeah.
them. What companies I've
Just
done
keep
retail
applying.
exclusive for. So yeah, it's on the wait list. So
Yeah.
yeah,
There. This year's probably. I know last year there was probably 1 or 2 cancellations or so, but it's
yeah,
also another show. If you want to invest the money, you can come as an attendee or a helper for a day or whatever to get a
right,
badge, so you can come in and still be able to sell your art. You just won't have a place to sit.
Right.
But you can still probably work with one of the
Yeah.
retailers or
Yeah.
whatever. You can sit
I
for
know
a
Ken and
day or
McLean.
whatnot.
Right. I know Ken and McLean will be in New York. They're there every year.
Okay.
So I
Like
thought
as a
about.
booth or just going as an attendee?
Oh no, they'll have tables.
Okay.
They do it. Yeah, they do it every year. So I may reach out and touch with them because if they do the standard thing where you get two passes per table, I might reach out to them, and if no one, spouses or whatever, if no one else is going with them, I might see if I can grab one of those. One of those.
If they have an artist alley table, they do have the option to buy extra tickets, but I think it's
Right.
the same price as a VIP, but it's still like an artist alley assistant or whatever. Unless are they doing exhibitor or artist alley? Do you know?
Offhand, I don't know. I don't recall on that one.
Okay. So like even look at hotels, you're looking at over $2,000
Right.
expense,
Yeah.
and then your flight. So
Well, I would probably do it the same way I did last, because I went to New York for vacation one time, and I drove right there over the bridge
their
into
exhibit. Okay.
not the Bronx. What's the other one?
LaGuardia.
No, just over the
JFK?
bridge. Huh?
Oh, Newark.
Yeah, into New York, just over the bridge. It's not the Bronx. What's the name of that other little small section of the New York area? Not the Bronx. It's Jesus. I'm having a brain fart.
Queens.
You got the Bronx, and then you got
Manhattan.
Harlem, and all these different names.
Harlem's in Manhattan.
Oh, sorry, not Harlem.
So the boroughs, you got Bronx, Staten Island, Queens, Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, that's it.
Okay, yeah, Brooklyn, JFK. Yeah.
So when I went straight over the bridge, right into New York, into Brooklyn, just right there. I got a hotel. I stayed there and bought one of those $70 subway passes.
Yeah.
And that's how I did.
If you don't mind commuting, sure. I think with the Jersey, you can take a ferry.
Okay.
Jersey's also cheap too. But for like, I don't know, I tend to just stay right by the hotel, by the convention center, because artists want to get together, people want to get together, and just outings and stuff. So it makes it easier. Because by the time all that's done, then the ferry's not going to be there, and then the trains they get dangerous too. So it's just one of those. And then the commute, sometimes it just takes way too fucking long. Like I was born and raised there, and my God. So I pay for that, and you as an artist, you can make that money back, and it's just worth it, even if you were to break even or things like that.
The crazy thing is like knock on wood, thanks to the badass fans that I have and the shows that I've done, like every show I like out of 5 years and tons of shows, I've only had like 2 where I broke even. And the rest were very good profits compared to what I spent to do it. And I'm still booking stuff as if I'm still on day one. You know what I mean? So like I'm looking for the super cheap hotel, and then I'm looking for the the super cheap way to travel it and things like that. So I'm still
it is much safer, but you will get to a point where that time does matter, because I am the same way. Like even when I started, like it's always, share a hotel with 5 other artists for an Airbnb. Like I if that's an option, I would do it. However, as you progress, time is money. Networking, all that, you have to account for that. If you're doing nothing at all and you have the time to travel and commute and stuff, sure. Save that money, because it does add up.
Yeah, it does for sure. And I mean, for me, because I don't, when I'm at home, I don't really take a lot of time off. I am stubborn. I am a bit OCD, and so I will work, just ridiculous hours every single day, pretty much 7 days a week. So for me, when I do these drives, like some people are like, oh my God, you drove to Denver? You drove 18 hours one damn way? Yeah. For me, that's almost kind of like my day off. So I'm listening to books on audio. I'm listening to music. I'm chatting live on the video with you guys. So I guess maybe that's why it didn't bother me.
I mean, Ryan K did that for many years. I did that for several years. And it's just like, when I drove to Denver, people like 10 hours. I'm like, that's all right. That's nothing. I
Yeah.
don't get to go to shows as much anymore, and I don't mind it. It's a nice drive, actually.
Yeah, it
However,
is.
I will not drive to New York. I will not have my car there.
I
That,
did that.
that is no, that is unless you have you don't mind paying the fees to park your
Yeah.
car there, or you have free parking or whatever. I
Yeah.
refuse
See,
to have a car there.
yeah, I drove that 16 hours. Well, it wasn't that bad going because I drove to we went to Washington D.C. and did a day there, and so we stayed the night in Washington D.C. and did the museums and stuff, and then we went to New York the next day. So we did the majority of the driving the first day, the 12 hours or whatever it was to Washington, and I like I said, I took my vehicle, but when I got lucky, the hotel I looked for a hotel that I could leave my vehicle parked at and that was not charging me per day. So that was that one hotel right across the bridge into Brooklyn. And the parking lot was like big enough to hold like maybe 6 cars. And luckily when I got there that morning, no one was there. I parked my car and didn't touch it again until we left like 4 days.
Parking fees in New York is also fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you have to think, and that's like right now in that 16 hours, right? How much did you pay in gas? How much did you pay in food?
Yep.
And it adds up, because in that time span, how many sketch covers could you have done?
Yep. Yeah. See, now back then I wasn't an artist, but now I do have to think about that because in the even though I'm working the rest of the time I'm at home, so I don't get days off like normal people do, or breaks like normal people do. So, like I said, that drive was kind of like my day off. Because I do enjoy travel. I do enjoy scenery and things like that. I enjoy the peace and quiet because I can't really pay attention to my phone while I'm driving. So I'm not looking at emails or PMs or whatever till I stop at the gas station. But I do have to start, even though I do enjoy that, I have to start thinking about it a little more businessy, because it's okay to drive 8 hours. Not a big deal. Even 10, that's fine. But when it starts getting past 8 hours or it starts getting past 10 hours, I really got to start considering flying, because like you said, in that extra 10-hour drive for that 8-hour final 8 hours, there's no telling how much money I could have made that day doing sketch covers or whatever the case.
Now the other thing to consider when you do that is how much is a flight, how much is luggage, because you have to get your setup there. Unless you know someone who's already driving there, you could piggyback off that. But then you got to consider, shipping your stuff, if that's better than having extra luggage. I know Dominic Glover, he hauls like 6 luggages at once, and if you've seen him, like, I've learned some tricks from him, like, but that guy, he has the strength of it, but not everybody can. But they limit 2 luggages. They learn to condense their setup. So like, you have a tripod, right? Usually I bring my tripod as a, sports equipment golf club. They allow that. Then you can have like 3 luggages. 2 paid, 1 carry-on, because once you go beyond the 3rd luggage, it's like ridiculous money. Yeah.
And that's the thing too, is like I got to figure out how to do the luggage part, because again, I think flights are getting a little more reasonable now. That I can start flying to some of these, again, the stuff that's farther than 8 hours away. Because I do want to do more shows up north. Like I got to go to Cleveland, Ohio next month. I've got to drive from here to Texas to do a show, then come back home the next weekend, go to Gatlinburg for a show, and then the next weekend go to Cleveland, Ohio, and that's 18 hours.
See, Ariel, I don't have Southwest because I live in a very, very small city. I only have Delta and American.
Yep.
Even if I drive like an hour to Gulfport, an hour to Pensacola. So
yeah, I'm in the same boat. Even though there's an airport here in Jackson, like I'm like flying out of Jackson is not very affordable.
Yep.
So and Memphis is 3 hours away. Now, obviously, if I still lived in Memphis, that'd have been golden. But
thanks, James. See ya.
All right, have a good day, brother. I hope everything goes good with the strike, man. I'm sorry to hear that's happening.
Yeah.
But
we've been on here for 2.5 hours.
Yeah. That's why I was like, okay, we got it.
AI.
Yeah, we came on to talk about the Senate hearing.
Yeah, $200, and if you don't have priority, it's a 50-pound limit or 75-pound limit, depending on what it is. And then
Gee.
you gotta figure out, like, if you use a wire rack, start, figuring out more of the flats you can
Right.
get from Clear Display, but they can be a bit heavy too. But sometimes it's cheaper to ship to your
Right.
hotel or Airbnb if they allow it than it is to fly something. So it's just a lot of figuring out. But
Yeah.
most of the artists I've seen, they carry one carry-on for their personal stuff and then 2 big luggages if it's paid anyway.
Yeah.
But then you got beasts like Dominic Glover who just carries whatever.
I don't know how the hell he does it. Holy shit.
And because of the weight, like for me, sometimes I only bring like 5 of each print. I don't bring more than that because when you have a big print selection, it gets fucking heavy.
Yeah, it sure does. Yeah, I mean, I think I have around 20 different pieces on my wall, if that much. Maybe it may be more along the lines of like
But
15.
if you're a big print, I'm okay. Like, me is kind of a little weird. Like, some people buy prints, some people don't. But if you're a big print seller, that shit gets heavy.
Yeah, it's real. Like my bin that I carry my pens in, and I'm only doing like 10 of each one.
That's
but
over 50 pounds already.
yeah, exactly. So that's the only drawback is like, and that's other than the pre-show commissions or the commissions at the con, which I don't do a lot at the con because I don't want to be working the entire time I'm standing there trying to interact. The prints are some of the biggest selling items. So yeah,
for me, it's kind of like on and off because when I sit with Unknown Comics and my banner is, I don't have an actual print wall. Like when I
Right.
had my print wall, I actually sold more prints than me, having this
Yeah, for
comic
sure.
banner. So it's kind of weird for me still. But yeah, it gets so heavy.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, they are definitely heavy. It's so crazy. But anyway, Annie, I'm gonna get off here so we can both jump back and get back to work. But like I said, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in and hanging out with us while we just kind of rambled about all kinds of shit. And thank you so much,
And
Anna,
no
for
to
doing
AI.
it.
That's the thing. No
Yeah.
to AI.
No to AI, man. But anyway, you guys go back to Kickstarter. Go show Anna's page some love if you're not on her pages. And like I said, be ready for the Banana Brigade on Psycho Sound number 5 with Anna's cover. I'm super excited about that. But yeah, Anna, thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.
You too. You all too. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.